What about now? I think we have some sound now. What about now? So, okay. I'm just going to say this for a lot of the fellas. This political season coming up is not going to be what you all think it is. Because you're going to have to buckle down some more. A lot of your women are not on your side. They're actually still pissed about the whole Kamala thing, which I still think is funny. Can't take an L. I don't know. Who's this life with Chandler? What the hell do you want, kid? I don't know. The freaks come out at night. I notice. The freaks come out at night. Beep, 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 beep. Freaks come out at night. You ever notice how many of these white boys come around just to mess with black content creators? Do y'all do this to the white boys? That is a good damn question. Y'all don't even do this to your own kind. Come on now. That's the messed up part. Y'all don't even do it to your own kind. Since you want this attention, we're gonna give you this attention, kid. What gracious moments do you bring to my channel? Detro, what's up? Mr. O Dark 30 himself. How you feeling today, man? We gotta really keep it tight, especially for fathers' rights and men's rights, which is gonna trickle down to black men's rights. I think honestly, when we get back onto the table conversations, I think honestly, as a secure black man, fuck them. They need your vote. Fuck them. What you gonna do for my vote? Fuck you, pay me. Never sleep. Don't have to. Fuck them. I think a lot of times we don't take advantage of the writing of the law. We don't take advantage of what we need to do. As a voting bloc, as a people, we need to keep the foot and the gas going. Why? Glad you asked why. We're glad you asked. Because if they had the advantage, did they not put their foot on your neck? Well, that's not a good way to think, Charles. We gotta be positive. So positive. So positive. I don't like thinking positive. I like thinking realistic. Sorry. A nice positive shit's for the birds. Nice positive shit's for the birds. You don't get any respect from being positive and nice. It has been proven time and time again. None of the shit you receive was because you were a nice, benevolent soul. So get out of here with that. That nice but numbing soul shit has gone out the world. Supreme Mash, what's up? What's on your mind? What's on your mind? What's up, Supreme Mash? Let me know what you want me to talk about. We'll talk about it. Because down the line, I think this table discussion is it's not even slowly, but reassuredly getting very interesting. I don't want no man tell me about no table. Don't tell me about no table. No, 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 no. Men's health. What part of men's health? That men should actually get their blood, cholesterol, testosterone, and what else? And yeah, you should get your, if you're a certain age, you should get your prostate checked. We're starting to live a little longer, you know, because there's some of us who are, come on up, come on up, hit the link. It started off with men's health. I think that's one of the things that in the black community we don't put a focus on. We put a focus on some other frivolous shit. Well, your health should be your wealth.
What's good?
What's up, man?
Hey, no. I was saying like, no, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. I've been seeing all that. I think because I've been discussing a lot of stuff with my wife or whatever, my algorithm's been changing and my health changing and all that. I'm like, man, I need to start talking to some cats about this because I'm 44. I don't know how old you are. I think you're about my age, right?
Yeah,
Hello?
43. Yeah, can you hear
43.
me?
Oh, damn. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, because right now I think I may be diabetic, bro. So I'm over here trying to figure that part of my life out now. So I'm got my appointment coming up. So I'm just cautioning all brothers, man. Hey, and start looking into your family history too. Hopefully this gets to the right person. Start looking up your family history and stuff like that. See if you're predisposed. Figure out your blood type. A lot of people, don't even know their blood type. So there's a
I
lot of
think
questions you got to ask yourself.
one of the things you got to check your sugar, you got to check your diet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
don't know how people's fitness regimens are. I got to get back into mine.
Okay.
Um, I think that a lot of times people, it's funny.
Uh-huh.
We'll do all right, but
Uh-huh.
you don't build up your home gym.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
30-minute workout. You should have a gym membership if you have one. But a 30-minute
Yeah.
workout at home will build you up so well. Just touching the weights and moving them around will build up so much motivation.
Hmm.
It's easy, man.
Come on. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Come on.
A lot of dudes need to really go get your testosterone checked. You might be low
Yeah.
T.
Yeah. I never, that's one thing I never even talk. So that's usually, do they check that in your blood work usually?
They check it in your blood work, but you got to do it in the morning. Your
Oh, okay. Yeah.
ribals.
Oh, when you fast and all that. Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to do it
Yeah.
twice. Get a good accurate
Mhm.
read once.
Right.
1 week and about 2 weeks back to come do it again. But
Oh wow.
it's always going to be before 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I usually get mine done at like 8 in the morning. Right before I go to work. Whenever I always do mine yearly. So like most people.
get your T check,
Mhm.
cholesterol,
Oh yeah. And then my thing is I already have hypertension as it is. So
get your
yeah, that's
hypertension.
what I'm saying. Like it's a lot of stuff that And my thing is this. A lot of guys who I know we talk a lot about relationships, whatever. But yeah, that's the first thing you getting yourself together before you talk about anything about a relationship or anything like that. We're talking about somebody getting themselves right. A lot of men ain't got their health in order
So
and all
just
that. So yeah.
in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Yeah.
You got to realize
Uh-huh.
sometimes you got relationships that people
Mhm.
can't handle or stressing you the hell out.
That's true too. That is very true. And that's the
Come on,
thing. If y'all ain't on the same page, bro, especially when it comes to that too, that can hinder shit, man.
that should break you down like a shotgun.
And look, you ain't lying about that. And trust me, I've been, like I said, this is my second time around, as you may know. So, I get it, man.
Oh yeah, it's like a lot of people don't understand that shit. Like dealing with a stressful relationship is not cool. I don't know. Stress is the best.
One sided situations, yeah, that's the worst.
That is one of the most stressful things you could go through. Is trying to
Yeah,
figure out somebody who doesn't know the damn self. Come on now.
yeah,
That
hey, bro. If you ain't growing together, you're growing apart.
sometimes we're growing apart.
Yeah, because you know what? One thing I'm finding, my physical health is starting to affect. It's affected my mental health at times and how I handle up my anxiety and all that, man. So yeah, I definitely get that. That's why I wanted to kind of jump on here because that's something I've been kind of leaning into lately.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So I was like, man, let me go ahead and talk about something. Then when you say, hey, it's an open topic, I was like, oh shit, let me go ahead and jump on here and say something, man.
Because you got to think about it. A lot of people don't know it's okay to get mental health. A lot of people don't know that. People
Yeah,
act
yeah. A lot of these, back in the day, we used to look at it as a stigma. Yeah.
we want to have this bravado. We want to be this big, strong guy. Nothing hurts
Mhm.
me. But crying in the you can't even go in your own goddamn house. You
Oh
wait in
man.
the parking. You're on the
Mhm.
street for an hour crying, taking sips of drink. Sometimes you're drinking obsessively because you're so goddamn stressed.
Right.
Okay? One
Hmm.
thing, taking a drink because you're off and you're taking the edge off. But
Hmm.
you're talking motherfuckers who got a drink just to walk in their damn house.
Hey, man, look. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I used to be, I never really been a extremely heavy drinker, but I might have a bout, like maybe a couple weeks. I might drink a lot more than I normally would. But drink, I don't even really drink hard liquor anymore. Um, I'm more, I may drink wine socially, but yeah, I had to cut a lot of that out, man.
That is, I've slowed down my drinking, but I
Hmm.
still drink. But you have to drink,
Right. Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that people forget. Be
Yeah. Yeah. Moderation,
moderation, being responsible. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. To
uh,
have you take breaks in between, a
like
drink every hour or every hour is a drink in moderation, something like that. Drink Harry, have it, that's not bad.
have a
Yeah.
cup that you sip on, and it takes
Exactly.
1 hour to finish. Sometimes just a cup,
Right.
just like the size of a red average cup, takes you about an hour to sip on. That's why cigars and shit like that
Right.
are very well, timepieces
Right.
for that.
Right. Yeah. So what's going on up there in Baltimore, man? How everything going up there, man?
It's Baltimore's Baltimorean.
Yeah, I know, man. Like I said, I know the city crazy, but the weird thing is, as much as people shit on Baltimore, I've always loved that city, man. Always loved Baltimore. I always, you know what, Baltimore. You know why I like Baltimore? It always reminded me of a Midwest city on the
Yeah,
East Coast. That's why I always love Baltimore. It reminded me a lot of Cincinnati. So
it's a it's a very interesting town for the least
yeah,
part. It's
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
historic, great seafood.
There,
Um,
yeah.
people, it could be even greater if the right people were in charge.
That's what
And
I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Jesse, if you're not busy, get your ass up here, boy. It's been a while. Come on, Jesse. Sir Jesse to you comment, folks.
Hey, what's good, everybody?
Hey, what's
That's
going
what's up.
on?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Sorry, how do you pronounce that name?
Oh, my name. Oh, just call me Mosh. Just call me Mosh. It's a lot easier, bro.
Oh, Mosh. All right, I'm Nema.
Is that
Okay,
Arabic?
nice
Nice.
to meet you. Oh no, it's
Uh,
Hebrew. It's Hebrew.
Oh,
Oh, you talking about me?
I thought it was either
Oh,
Arabic.
Much hit? Yeah. Okay. What's
you
it's
talking about my
Hebrew?
name? Oh yeah. My name is Hebrew. It's Mashiach. It just means Messiah or anointed in Hebrew. That's all.
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
if they say if they say it in Hebrew, it's Hashua Yeshua HaMashiach. That's how they pronounce it. Jesus the Christ. That's how they pronounce it
All
in
right. All
Hebrew.
right.
Yeah, you learn every day.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
tell
That's,
people the health. Another
Okay.
thing we talked about was also mental health.
Oh yeah, that's the first part. Because if your brain ain't all right, then you ain't gonna. Because that functioning depression is real too. A lot of people are moving with it and don't even know they have it. I
Yeah,
I think I've had it for the better part of 6 months to a year. Didn't even realize it until I realized I was in a slump, like where I would just come home. I wouldn't even watch
mhm.
TV. I would probably watch some YouTube videos, make a few phone calls, and then by the time my wife goes to work, I'm laying in the bed, laying down, listening to rain sounds, about to go to sleep. About 7, 8 o'clock. I didn't do
Oh,
shit, nothing productive. Yeah, it was one of them type of days.
because when you're depressed, clinically depressed, your motivation is shit. And
Oh man,
people,
it's just a hell down.
it's like, and sometimes that not only the stress of work, stress of the environment, but
Mm-hmm.
also your testosterone, your T count, man.
Right,
your
right.
C
Oh
count,
yeah.
cortisol
Mm-hmm.
level has gone. Because that's the thing about depression. Your cortisol is if people who've done brain scans. I remember what's his name? Robert Sapolsky, a PhD from Stanford, who's a neurobiologist.
Uh
He
huh.
says like if the brain scans of somebody who's going through a bout of depression, it looks like they're under stress, continuous stress, because their cortisol level is up due
Mm-hmm.
to depression. And
Mm.
I can tell you more than my share of that book is because I suffer from seasonal depression, first of all, as
Yeah.
well
Oh
clinical,
yeah.
and I have
What part
anxiety.
of one question, brother? I'm sorry to disturb. Real quick. What part of the country are you from?
I'm from Eritrea actually.
Oh, you from Eritrea? Okay, okay. And Dimina, Dimina.
Yemen's oh no, that's Amharic. I speak Tigrinya,
That's
but
how
yeah.
I'm sorry. No disrespect. 'Cause I know y'all similar, but I know y'all look. There's a lot of
Well,
Eritreans in Cincinnati. There's a lot of Eritreans,
Eritrea,
so I know quite a few of them. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
Cincinnati.
It's a
Okay,
lot. Yeah,
I got family close.
it's a,
All right, cool.
yeah. It's a lot of them here. And one thing I noticed about y'all very close knit because I noticed the Eritreans who live here in Cincinnati. I think they came here back in the day because I know y'all. It's a very oppressive regime over there, so. A lot of times they will help sponsor each other to get over here. So all of them are like family. They build a church here and they're very close knit. That's one thing I always notice about Eritreans. I'm sure other groups are like that too, but I've always noticed
Uh,
that with them.
we network with other communities and everything because everybody knows somebody that knows somebody because we all got cousins all over the place. So
Yeah, yeah.
if I got kinfolk who need help somewhere, I'm gonna tell them like
Hmm.
there's some people I know, but in return you got to help them out. We all help each other out. It's family, it's clan, family, and everything. Or Indas, we say. It depends on the
Okay.
ethnicity, but most is and whatnot. Tigray, it's all about family. Your extended family is important to you because it goes back home to how we're structured. Both sides of
Right.
your
Fair enough.
family, even though we're patriarch, most of us are patriarchal. We're bilingual. I belong to my mother's family as much as I belong to my father's family.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Now tell me this.
Mhm.
Now are you from? No, what I'm saying is, what are you in the U.S. or are you in Canada or something? Or
I'm in Europe. I'm in Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. Okay. How was it there?
Oh, that's pretty
What's that?
cool. I mean,
That's
in
cold.
Norway is pretty cold, but right now it's like kind of warm because like it's just one of
Mhm.
those winters. It's not really winterish yet.
Okay.
We're gonna have a late
Gotcha.
snowfall,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I ain't want to divert too much from your topic. I'm sorry about that, brother. Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. I do because Charles will tell you I'm usually all over the place, and that's because like I
Fair enough.
understand mental health and everything, and the
Right.
stigma that goes with it is serious. Even though people are trying to raise awareness about it, it's no joke. Like
Yeah.
for example, if you have like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, I can understand because I know people who have type 2 or type 1 of bipolar.
Right.
Is no joke, especially when they have their highs or when they have their lows. When they have the depressive episodes, and
Mm.
they are like you got to keep a watchful eye on them because they can be
Okay.
like destructive and whatnot. I mean, how
Mhm.
many actors who had bipolar and have had to end their try to end their lives when they were going through a depressive episode?
Ooh, I mean, you know what? Real talk. I don't think I can't off the top of my head. I can't think anybody off the top of my head. But I'm sure if I thought about it, I could probably look back to somebody and say and mention it. But one thing I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm pretty sure my wife is okay with me mentioning it because she's gonna start talking about this stuff publicly too. And I've actually talked to my therapist about it. But one thing I noticed, a lot of people don't notice about women. And I've noticed since I've been with my wife, and she told me about it from the beginning. She's a nurse. She has something called PMDD, and the symptoms in women are almost identical as by being bipolar. And I think a lot of women are being misdiagnosed. Me and her talked about it. She's like, Masha, I think a lot of women, because a lot of people don't know about it. And I'm like, a lot of these women probably being misdiagnosed, and they are probably going through some shit they don't even know about. Um, and that's just
Yeah,
observation because me and her talked about it a lot. She said a lot of women don't even know about it. And I've even talked to my therapist about it. I'm like, hey, you might want to talk to some of your female patients about this, you know, because
how
they
old is
may
your
have
wife?
it's like one, huh?
How old is your wife?
She's 47.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah, but she's had this since I met her. Like I said, this is my second marriage, just for preference, just for reference. This is my second marriage. She's like three. She's 3 years older than me. But
Yeah,
she told me this when we first met. She says, "Hey, I'm letting you know this from the beginning. This is what I deal with. I work through it. Blah blah blah. You know, we really discussed it. So it's something. And she's always worked. Really, we worked through it our way. But she says, I think a lot of it gets misdiagnosed as being bipolar, and I think a
mm,
lot of women are getting misdiagnosed. And I'm like, that's really crazy when you really think about it. And women are probably on more medications than they ever were in,
oh, they are.
especially here in America. So,
They are. Think of
so
especially when
you got
oh, go ahead, Charles.
you got to think about it. The loneliness epidemic. That's
mhm,
not. That's women. Women
Mm,
are horrendously lonely, and
yeah.
yeah,
it's
man. So
Mhm,
not looking good for a lot of them. In all
mm,
actuality, you got to think
mhm,
about
mhm.
it. Women are used
right,
to. Women are very social creatures. Men are more stoic than
very
we are,
much. Uh
and
huh.
we could all live on a desert island, work together, and not say one word. They have to speak.
Yeah, exactly. We can you can see a lot of times. If you know, the older men get, the less we're associating with people. The less we associate with people, we just kind of turn into hermits in some ways. Or we kind of affiliate with a lot less people. I've noticed that.
They're off
And
to
yeah,
our own shit. That's all.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, what I'm saying? But no, but just in general though, but when it comes now, I'm just saying that for I was mainly bringing that up because I think that's just a theory of mine. I think a lot of misdiagnosis might be going on. It might not be intentional. It's not a lot of awareness out there about it. That was just something I just
I,
wanted to bring up. I know that's not men's health, but I was thinking of it from a relationship standpoint, like where it may be some
And that,
confusion.
that is actually men's health because a lot of men don't. Be
And you
like,
know what? You got a point. You got a point because you know what? It reflects back to us because we got to deal with it in a relationship. So yeah, you're right. You're 100% right on that one.
where
Um.
that and that, excuse me,
Uh,
Charles. I got it's important because you know where I'm coming from with this one. First of all, as far as the women go, um, women are neurologically different than men. Let's not forget that, and their
absolutely.
biochemistry is completely different, especially considering their secondary sex characteristics and their sex drive and their hormones and everything. Especially when they go through changes like their first period, and then going through the ups and downs of their menstrual cycles, and then the menopause and how they are post-menopause,
Hmm.
and how it affects
Right.
neurologically as well as physiologically because their whole endocrine because their endocrine system is wide is programmed in that way kind of way. And
Right. Right.
I would also argue that for women who are being misdiagnosed with bipolar, it could be possible that some of them may actually be have a cluster B personality, so
Say that
cluster
again.
B.
Oh, what now? I never heard of that.
Cluster B personality disorder, one specifically called borderline personality disorder or emotional instability disorder. Emotional instability personality disorder, aka borderline. But there's a
Okay.
huge stigma. It's often misdiagnosed with bipolar. I would know because I have BPD myself,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm okay. It's all right. I'm glad I got my diagnosis. I'm glad because I've learned that first of all, because I was initially diagnosed with depression, but I realized
Okay.
I do have it's actually a secondary disorder. But
Mm-hmm.
having BPD, which is a personality disorder, which means your brain is just wired a certain way, and it has nothing to do with your brain chemistry, it can like kind of fuck
Right.
them up because bipolar compared to BPD is socially
Mm.
acceptable, especially in the realm of clinical psychology and psychiatry.
Okay.
So it's and because with bipolar disorder, people can be prescribed certain medication to help
Mm.
help regulate their moods and whatnot, especially something like Risperdal or antipsychotics.
Right.
But you can't do with a personality disorder because it's not a brain chemistry thing. It's just the brain's wired a certain way, and you have to use
Okay.
cognitive therapy. Now,
Gotcha.
to
Gotcha.
that that also applies to men because oftentimes, when it comes to the cluster B personality disorders,
Uh-huh.
most women will be either histrionic or borderline personality disorder, but they
Right.
often associate both narcissistic and
Right.
antisocial. Antisocial, that's sociopathy and psychopathy. They get oftentimes associated with men, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
gender bias there that needs to be discussed. So, especially
Right.
nowadays, consider how the narcissists and psychopaths get thrown around and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And with that
Oh,
being
okay.
also, yeah, also that you also have to also couple that with brothers who've had PTSD, especially those who've been in the military and have seen combat,
Mm-hmm.
so they have combat PTSD, or those in law enforcement because cops also experience PTSD. The way they kind of have this deadness look in their eyes. Sometimes some people might look at it as sociopathy or something like that, but these are things that really need to be discussed, and people need to
Mm-hmm.
understand themselves about what is really going on with that person. Even if you're not a clinician, at least know the telltale signs so you can protect
Right.
yourself. So try to help that person in the best way you can.
Right.
But there's still a stigma, like in law enforcement, about PTSD diagnosis. Oh,
Okay.
by the way,
Got you.
I love the Haku, avatar.
Oh no, I just like Haku, bro. You know, man, he was the baddest man in wrestling. Somebody was talking about Samoans the other day, and I like changing my avatars and all that. And no, I just changed that because they were talking about Samoans on TikTok, and I was like, hey, this dude was the baddest motherfucking Samoan I ever heard of. He ripped off a motherfucking nose, beat up like six cops, and then next thing you know, he actually used his real wrestling move in a real life situation.
Oh yeah, he's
That's true.
Tongan.
Yeah,
Number one,
yeah, but
Tongan.
he's
Yeah.
Tongan,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the Barbarian were among the first from their home island who were sent to Japan to initially train in sumo, but eventually they
Oh,
would
really?
transition to wrestling in Japan, and then they made way to the states, and that's where Haku's family, everything is. That's where Tamatonga, Talatonga,
Right.
Tongaloa,
Uh-huh.
and Talatonga, they're his adopted kids, but Tongaloa is his
Oh,
actual son.
oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
They all.
Yeah.
If you ever see Talatonga's, the tall one, that's the baby. If you ever see his clips with Haku, it's funny as hell because it's like father-son dynamic is like anything you would see. And you see Haku as a dad making you laugh and everything.
Man,
You
look,
know,
I remember Tony Giovanni told a story. Tony Giovanni told a story. He was like, one time Haku came up to him, he had his first son. I think it was probably him. He said, hey, my son, he's acting up. You know, what should I do about it? He was like, show him who the fuck you are. He was like, you're Haku. Like, show him who the fuck you are. Like, bro, like, the hell you think? The hell can I tell you? Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you don't go
That,
ahead, I'll give you the Tongan death grip
oh, yeah.
because they.
Yeah, he,
Oh, Tama. First of all, Tama Tonga. That's one of the adopted sons. He served in the Air Force.
oh, wow. Okay.
Air Force, and when he started and when he decided to go into wrestling, like his dad,
Oh,
apparently
okay.
apparently he had some unresolved PTSD because they didn't talk about it when he served. You know, he's like our age. He's in
Yeah.
his early 40s. And
Mm-hmm.
when he was in, initially, he was kind of fucking up because like
But
he was getting, drinking too much and everything. Oh, and that's the thing
wow,
about people with mental health illness. They oftentimes, mostly you see this with white guys, but among black folks, people forget brothers will self-medicate with drugs
I,
and alcohol. You know,
bro,
just
I had my problem with addiction, so I already know, bro. So you ain't got to even tell me twice. So yeah,
oh wow, how long you been
yeah, yeah.
sober?
2.5 years. Let me be honest, 100% honest. That was hard. I've told it over the years or whatever, and I drink occasionally, so I'm not completely like sober. I don't do anything hard anymore like I used to. So that's more so what it is.
How long have you been? Well, now you're being responsible because you know your
Oh,
limit
oh
and
yeah,
everything. All
oh
right,
yeah,
you in control.
absolutely.
You know, not, but you know that, but that fear of relapsing, going into that dark age, is what's keeping
All
you
the
try to
time.
keep all straight all the time. Because I personally, I don't drink because I've seen what that shit does. I've seen, and if my friends get wasted, I don't smoke or anything like that.
Uh huh.
Have family, come from a family of people who smoke, who chain smoke,
Right.
and I can tell you, like, growing up in Eritrea, given with the stress of life, sometimes most guys will medicate with caffeine. Most people can legally, self-medicate with nicotine and caffeine on weekdays,
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
alcohol weekends. I remember Bill Hicks, the
Okay.
comedian, talked about
Oh yeah.
that.
One thing I noticed coffee is very important in East Africa. I've noticed that because I noticed whenever I would go to people's home who are from Eritrea and Ethiopia, they always have that coffee set up, the whole stand with all the coffee, and they sit around and all of them drink coffee together. And
That tradition that tradition is like about 2-3 thousand years,
okay, yeah,
and
and a lot of times they would always say, "Hey, do you want to have a drink of coffee?" They would always invite me, and hey, very
oh,
welcoming, very welcome.
they offer the popcorn. They also wash and everything with it, right? And they always and you have to have either one round or you do the traditional 3 rounds.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that's very big with them is that coffee though. I know because I heard like that region of the earth has some of the best coffee too. So
Mm-hmm. Man, I
yeah.
remember, I remember, some of my favorite memories were with my grandmother. Both my grandmothers, because like sometimes because I used to live with one of my grandmothers, with my
Mhm.
grandma on my dad's side. My grandma on my mom's side lived across town, but she would come visit every once in a while, or I'll go
Right.
visit her. And, when the women get together, they got to have the coffee, and
Of
they
course.
just, especially on a Sunday when you come home from church,
Uh-huh.
they have or it's called boon, by the way, they call it boon, and they have the traditional
Okay.
ceremony. Everything.
Hmm.
Two of my female cousins from one of my aunts, they were taught the ceremony from a young age. I got other female cousins who were taught that from a young age.
Hmm.
Um, I was in the military. We did it. I remember I was the youngster amongst them, and they had to keep a watchful eye on me because they like, "Yo, name up, no, he's," they'd be
Right.
like, hey, don't. Are you sure you want to? No, you can only go one round. I don't know if we should
Right.
let you go all rounds because that coffee's strong and we don't have no water because that's gonna make your heart pound like real hard. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, I'm
Oh
cool.
damn.
Yeah,
Oh
I was.
damn. That's
They were kind of worried about me about like that, because
right.
you know not used to it. You're not used to it, but I was used to
Right.
it from then, so I know
Okay.
how to code and everything. But it's a beautiful ceremony. There's a lot of way of gathering, but it also has a spiritual aspect from our ancestry.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha. Gotcha.
every culture has their own traditions with coffee and later tea and everything. It's really beautiful. Like if you ever see like the Saho, like a tribe called the
Okay.
Saho from, I mean, they it's mostly the men they perform when the men are out and about, like when they're doing
Hmm.
their taking,
Right.
out and about with the herds and everything. It's
Hmm.
usually the men come there and they're playing the traditional. Somebody's got a kara playing the traditional music while they're having a drink of coffee, whatnot. It's the best
Right.
way to just wind, and it's all love. It's just the thing just to
That's
come
what's
in
up.
and take stock of how everything is, and people get to talk.
Mhm. Okay. Cool. Cool. It's
I
very
thought
interesting.
female.
Like I said, I've always found that. Like I said, I've always found like I always look at other cultures, look at what they do. I always look at it like this: the way you just described, the way the women sit around with the coffee. I look at that as American women with drinking wine, hanging around like some desperate housewives and shit. Like that's how I look at that, or drinking daiquiris and shit. So
Yeah. Like I'm sure when you came over, you saw some of the guys. They wore like a white cloth around their bodies, wrapped themselves with white cloth and stuff.
I, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure, quite possibly. I'm
Yeah.
not for sure. Was it like a shawl or something like that?
No, well, if it has an embroidery, it's for the women. It's called mantilla. They have to have it on their heads or wrap it on their bodies. For the men,
Gotcha.
it's called the, and it's mostly white, but no, it's not embroidered, and we use it, to keep ourselves warm traditionally. I still
Oh,
have
okay,
mine.
gotcha, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
they wear that just to show that they're elders now, and they gotta have that whenever they're out and about. It's a good
Right.
thing. It's like you see them, wearing that while they have the coffee and they talk and everything. It's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they come together.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Okay.
like guys, OGs, they'll go to a coffee. You see the men, they go to a coffee shop somewhere, away from the women,
Right.
just to talk what they need to talk, like the men. So yeah,
Right. Right.
love
Okay.
right there.
Now, hey
Visiting. I
Charles, I
remember.
meant to tell you. Oh, my
Go
bad, my
ahead, go.
bad, bro. Go ahead. Oh, now, Charles, I wanted to ask you real quick. You ever been to Watershed Bar up there on Charles Street?
Uh, not to
I
my
think it's
recollection.
Watershed.
I
Yeah, it's
might
a
have.
it's a nice spot. My brother, when we went up to DC, we drove up to Baltimore to meet with some of my cousins, and then we went up on Charles Street to this place called Watershed or something like that. It's a nice
Oh,
restaurant, and my wife had never had a crab cake, a Maryland crab cake, and so I introduced her. She's from the Chi, so she a Midwest girl like me. But we took her there, and she fell in love with the Maryland crab cake, bro. Now she want to go back. That's why she wanted to come back up there. That's
Yeah,
why she
yeah.
loved Baltimore. Huh?
That's. I could take you to Moe's. I could take you a couple of places. Take you to
Okay, Phillips.
Phillips
Okay.
down.
I've heard of them. I've heard of them. I just don't. Yeah.
Go
Um,
to.
and what's the other place I like? That I want to try is I want to try me a damn pit beef sandwich.
No, you got to go to
I can,
Chaps or Pulaski
you
Highway.
say that's what I keep hearing. Pulaski Highway. That's what I keep hearing about. Yeah. Ever since Weebay said that on the wire, I said I gotta have me one of these pit beef sandwiches one day.
I just had one
Uh,
about. I just had one
huh?
2 weeks.
Oh man.
Oh, that
Them
shit
things is nice.
is lovely. That is filling. Don't eat shit else the whole. Don't eat shit else before you eat that.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, like I said,
Because
I used to live in DC, so I used to love to go to Baltimore. I'm not a big seafood guy like that, but I'm like that pit beef. I gotta try that shit though.
you're gonna have like you're gonna be filled. You're gonna be filled. Get the dipping sauces. And so,
Yeah. They got sauces with. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lose my mind. Don't give me no sauce, I'll lose my damn mind. But
wow.
let's go back to the now as far as like now you were saying something about seasonal depression. What causes that exactly? Do the seasons being up and down, does that throw you off or what?
In my case, it's more like because I experience it twice a year. I get it like once before, like in the summer, and
Mhm.
one in the. So it's like when the
Okay.
transition between autumn and winter, I will experience it. It'll really creep up on me. Summer
Gotcha.
times, I will seasonal depression, and I have had that before, so I understand why. I don't understand completely why, but it
Mm-hmm.
does happen to people, especially those who are like highly sensitive, and
Mm-hmm.
it could be, I
Okay.
don't know, varies from person to person. In some cases, it could be due to some kind of trauma,
Right.
or it could it's just a seasonal thing. Like some people, their bodies are just a certain way at
Right.
certain times of the year. So
Mm-hmm.
the brain chemistry is just like that at certain times of the year. So
Right.
seasonal
Right.
depression can be for numerous of reasons.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I do want to ask this question about because we have another brother from the diaspora on here. I think this something because you know how they say black men in particular, black people, but black men in particular suffer from high bouts with hypertension. I've always wondered, do other people in black people in other countries have the same stigma and the same problem with hypertension? Is it really high with other black people from the other parts of the diaspora? That's a very interesting question because that'll
that
tell us a lot. So.
that is
Okay, I think no, actually he's right because hypertension, high blood pressure, there's got to be a genetic factor to it. Because with I don't think it's just African Americans. Because remember, Afro Caribbeans, Afro
Yeah,
Latinos,
yeah.
y'all in the same boat, literally,
Fair
and
enough.
figure in history, y'all were in the same boat. So
Right.
a lot from my understanding has to do with the salt sensitivity theory.
Okay.
So just like sickle cell anemia, there's
Right.
got to be a
Right.
genetic to this, and unfortunately, I'm sure throughout in many an African population, if they were to do genetic screening to find out what is where this hereditary is coming from, they probably might know
Mhm.
why some people are preconditioned for this.
Yeah, and the thing is, we never, a lot of us don't really communicate in that way, and we were never really know these things. I just have not think about it. I was like, I wonder if some of our African, because I was thinking maybe it's a food thing or it's like the land or whatever. Maybe because they eat more food from the ground. I'm assuming, and they probably don't eat as much processed shit. So I'm assuming. I don't want to, not figure.
About it. Look at our diet. Like
But
Want to say that again?
Asian people can eat a lot of starch. That's historically their diet, which is
Really?
right.
And
So
they
they don't
can't drink alcohol. They can't really what they say. They can't really ingest alcohol or
not
digest alcohol well.
not
Yeah.
that well now because
Yeah.
you got to black people. We're more into fruits, berries, and some meat.
Yep.
Very little starch.
Hmm. Yeah. But we'll fuck up some macaroni though.
hmm And some
Yeah.
rice.
Oh yeah. Like trust me, I'm about to make some tomorrow. That shit. Yeah, I got this chicken in the crock pot right now and in the oven and shit. So yeah. Yeah, I get you.
we gotta love that chicken. Oh,
Oh yeah.
you gotta be
You
careful with that chicken sometimes.
can
'Cause if you don't know
jump
where the quality chicken, is
in
it free
at
range, organic,
any time.
raised right? You don't know.
Absolutely. You're
And
100% right on that one.
lost, you can jump in at any time. So
Oh, who was that? Who was the brother name?
I lost.
Hey, what's up?
He's muted right now.
Oh,
He's
okay.
right.
He's a youngin.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Give him
But yeah, I've always wondered. I'm gonna look up that. I'm gonna look up that one day, just see what the diaspora looks like as far as that, and then just see what the correlation is. Because, like you said, it might be something we can find a root to if they did the actual research on it and actually gave a fuck. We could probably get to a root of it. Like, especially like you said with sickle cell, is that really prevalent over on the continent that you know of?
It is prevail. In certain populations you could find it, but it's a hereditary disease. It's a hereditary disease because you need to acquire the gene from both parents in order to
Right.
receive it. But the chances of a
Right.
child having from two parents who have the genetic having the gene is 1 in 5, 1 in 4.
Right.
Just like
Oh,
the
okay.
chance.
Got it.
So it's like you have it's a 50% chance you might end up receiving the gene from one of the parents,
Uh huh.
25% chance of inheriting the disease from both parents and having sickle cell anemia, or and
Uh
a
huh.
25% that you don't receive the gene. So it's a luck of the draw when you think about it,
Oh, okay.
because
I
it
got you.
is a recessive gene. So if you would receive the recessive gene from both parents, and for understand this gene is actually the reason for this type of mutation coming about is as an adaptation to malaria. Because
Right.
understand, malaria is caused by a bacteria called Plasmodium. There's like four
Oh, wow.
types. Oh yeah,
Damn,
four
I ain't know
types of.
nothing about that. Oh
Oh, that
man.
is mosquito bites. No, the mosquito is a vector. What causes the
Oh yeah.
malaria is a bacteria called Plasmodium, and
Okay.
they're common like in swamp areas. So it's no joke. So you got to be careful with that shit. That's why a lot of places, they have they have to take chloroquine during the wet season to protect themselves and wear have to with mosquito nets and such.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, folks. The chloroquine is actually used to prevent and treat malaria. It was never meant for
Mm.
COVID. As somebody
Oh.
who's doing that during the wet season, it is not something to play with. They come in these little concentrated these little green
Mm.
concentrated tablets. You're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
take 2 to 3 weeks. You
Right.
don't go over ridiculously, man. What's wrong with some people? So, sickle cell was meant as a defense mechanism to malaria because
Mm-hmm.
remember, Plasmodium, it attacks your red blood cells. Now, if sickle cell does it cause your red blood cells to be deformed or misshaped and everything. But the problem with that is people with sickle cell also end up suffering from because red blood cells have to have
Uh-huh.
hemoglobin to be able to carry oxygen throughout the blood, through the circulatory system into the body. Correct?
Right.
If you have sickle cells anemia, that means your red blood cells are irregular shaped, which means
Mm.
they don't have hemoglobin, which means they cannot properly carry oxygen throughout your body. That's
Oh,
why
okay. Also, because what is it? Vacillate the cell of the what is that term? Vacillating, where the thing where the vessels kind of like thin out or something.
So
you know
it's
the
basically you're
the
slowly.
capillaries and yeah.
Oh, okay,
Hyper,
gotcha.
so because your red blood cells are misshapen, they can't properly carry oxygen throughout the circulatory
They
system.
they basically sickle. That's why they call it sickle. Okay, now it makes sense. Now, okay.
Sickle shape, they're irregular shape. So it affects it affects your life expectancy because on average, the average person who has sickle cell anemia does not live past 40. T-Boz
Yeah.
from TLC, she has sickle cell and she's still alive. Prodigy from Mob Deep,
Prodigy.
God bless. He lived to see his 40s. He would tell you going through the issue of sickle cell, it took a toll on him. Even though he had to
Yeah,
change his diet,
yeah. He
it
changed
had
that after he went to prison. I remember that.
that shit is no joke. In fact, also type 2 diabetes. Nobody talks about how there's a genetic component to that, or certain forms of cancers. And when you
Mm-hmm.
mention hypertension, who comes to mind? The late Arthur Ashe. Because
Oh,
remember, Arthur Ashe, like one of the greatest tennis players. Remember, he suffered a heart attack at 36. He was in the best
really?
shape of his life. Yeah, at
Damn.
36 days, he had a heart attack, and this was in the 70s. And people forgot. And he inherited his mother's he inherited the genes from hypertension for both his mother and father. So he
Mm.
was genetic, and nobody knew about how genetics plays a role in people's
Yeah,
well because he
yeah.
was in the best of life, but
Hell yeah.
that
Yeah. I
hyper
mean, come on. Yeah.
like some people don't know that they were diagnosed they have what do you call cardiovascular disease. I mean, I grew up playing
Right.
soccer. Do you have any idea how many players had their careers cut short because they
Oh,
had
wow.
they had they were genetically predisposed to cardiovascular disease. Some of them, that's why you saw players like collapse on the ground in the middle of a
Yeah,
game. They
like
will
the
collapse.
basketball players who got them bad hearts, them dudes 6'10". Most people like that tall usually don't live past like 50 or nothing like
They
that.
have a large heart. Certain people have
Yeah,
what they have it's a heart congestion,
yeah,
but they have an enlarged heart.
yeah. Remember Kevin Nash was talking about that. He's a 7-footer practically. So yeah, he talked about that. Like most of them don't live past like 50 or 60 or something like that.
Kevin Nash's reasons is similar to like the late Brian Pillman,
Hmm. Oh,
both because they both they had a genetic predisposition for cardiovascular disease, and Kevin Nash talked about
oh wow. Okay, I never
yeah,
heard him talk about it, but it makes sense though.
in an interview where he talked about regarding Brian Pillman, that was Stone Cold. I mentioned that, but Kevin Nash, he mentioned that when his second run in WWE back in like in the early 2000s, the
Hmm.
wellness is policy, they were giving him a hard time because he was taking stencils. He was taking
Oh,
stencils, something like that.
okay.
He not some kind of medication for high blood pressure. And they said, "Why are you taking that shit, man? I mean, you're
Mm.
healthy as hell." Maybe so, but my father died of a heart attack at age 36. That's why I don't fuck
Right,
around with that shit.
right, exactly.
Explanation for that shit.
Yeah.
So genes played a part in it. Just like Arthur Ashe, like I said, Arthur Ashe, when he had the heart attack, he had to undergo bypass surgery. And they were
I
like,
never even
God
really had
damn,
a heart attack. That's crazy, man. Oh man.
that's
Yeah.
what caught,
I just know about him passing from AIDS because he had a bad blood transfusion or something like that. They
that,
gave him some dirt. They gave him bad blood.
Let me connect the dots for you on that one.
Oh, go
He
right
had
ahead. Go land your plane, bro.
he had the heart attack like 76, 77. He had to undergo bypass.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was botched in a certain reason, so he had to go back under the knife in '83, and that
Okay,
required a blood. And it was during that heart surgery he ended up getting, he contracted AIDS from infected donor.
that's crazy, man. And they that's the reason why they start testing, basically.
That's when he started testing because I remember, was it 1988? He had to come out.
Hmm.
He had to, with a tearful press conference. He had to come out and say, yeah, he had AIDS. And apparently, rumor had it was USA Today was about to put out an article
Yeah,
about
they
him
was
having.
getting
So he had to go out and say, I have this, because the stigma at the time in the '80s, the stigma at the time of HIV/AIDS was what? It was just a gay
game
disease.
ass disease. Yeah, game ass
Mhm.
disease. Yeah.
Remember, Rock Hudson had it. He was in the closet. A few
Yeah.
other people. I don't want to
Dude
talk
from
about
Queen, Steve, what's his name? Steve, a dude from Queen. I can't remember his name. The lead singer. He died from it as well.
Freddie Mercury. You're
There we
talking
go.
about Freddie.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah. Because they used to call it gay cancer or some shit like that. Yeah, they call it. Yeah,
and the virus is closely related to monkeypox.
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So if you got that disease, would it be fair to tell you to sit your monkey ass down?
Oh, dad joke. That's an extreme dad joke. I like it.
Well, he is a dad, so yeah, I could get away. He can get away with it. But it's because I mean, growing up in I can tell you, growing up in Eritrea, back in '90, they were talking about HIV/AIDS.
Come on,
1988,
come on.
legally official. 1988 is when the first official case in Eritrea came out of HIV. But there was already cases back in the early '80s in Ethiopia.
Right. Oh,
So
okay.
So when Eritrea became independent around that time, that's when they started, they started going to schools and raising awareness about HIV/AIDS and everything. Like in '93, whatnot.
Right.
So little 12-year-old me had to learn about this shit. So but then again, I knew about AIDS long before that. Watching on the news, and when Magic came
Hmm.
out in '91, had to announce his retirement after that.
Right.
Been around, and we were like trying to understand. Everybody's trying to make heads and tails of what the hell's going on about AIDS.
Right.
Thankfully, it's because of that I've been like an advocate for using protection. When I came here to Norway, a lot of people
Hmm.
shit that came. I remember like there was a big uproar
Hmm.
because like they were telling like a lot of Norwegian women, if you're getting involved with an African person, with an African man, please use condoms. But there was like everybody was outraged about it, and I'm like, what are you saying the same thing about Norwegian men getting involved with African women?
Absolutely. Because that actually the patient zero guy was wasn't he
Mm-hmm.
a French dude or something like that? Yeah, he's a French dude or something like that. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I don't know. All I know is I don't care because when I got involved with anybody, I always insist on using protection and getting tested beforehand.
Oh man, look, man,
You,
look,
you,
hey, that's the way to go. Because I used to live in the D.C. area. Charles will tell you, man, the D.C. area around that Beltway, that shit was so much higher than the national average. I was like, oh hell no, and I had to be careful because I was a young guy wilding at the time. So I was like, yeah, I was hella careful up there, man.
Crack in the 80s.
yeah, that pull out. I don't give a fuck about your pull out game. That's why I say wrap it up. And if she,
Yeah,
and if
fuck all that. I don't care about that. My thing is that's secondary. My thing is make sure I'm protecting myself. Make sure you don't get some shit you can't
Yeah.
shake.
I mean, shit.
Right.
The morning piss is shit falling into told you learn.
Hey, you'll know what time it is. Yeah, you start pissing fire. You know what I'm saying?
When you shoot Kamehamehas out
go
your dick,
to your friend, and if you can't find no Trojan, you can always use some skin.
Mhm.
and if you
SKY. That's not protect.
can't
Right.
use it awfully large, use a trash bag.
Yeah. No, no, Charles, I was gonna ask you something. You still doing the security? You still got your company, right? The security?
Right.
Okay. Do you do large events? Do you do events and all that where you require outside help and stuff like that?
Um, sometimes.
No, I'm only asking because a friend of mine here, he's always like looking for stuff like that. Like, but he's here, and I know you have guys who have to get certified and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Work my. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they got to get Maryland State certified before they work with you and all that, or get a commission or SPO commission. Is that how it works up
They
there
got to get
still?
their pride security guard card and their
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Oh,
Maryland's
they got to
real
get
strict.
the guard card still. Okay, got you. Yeah, because I was gonna tell him that because I was like, hey, because he said, hey, he does a lot of stuff he does a lot of security work, but he works in another field too. But I was like, hey, I know somebody in Maryland who might be looking for some people every once in a while. And if you want to do a special, I could highlight them, and y'all can work it out how y'all want. If that's something that you're looking for, if not, I won't touch it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just,
Absolutely.
I just want that. Yeah, I'll say it like this. He's my young homie. He helped me out a lot in a situation when I was kind of fucked up. He introduced me to somebody I was doing club security with him for a while. And he actually helped me out a lot in getting some money that I really needed. I was behind on child support and shit, and he helped me out a lot. He's like, hey, I got some work for you. So, what I'm saying? So, kind of wanted to return the favor.
Uh, Times in our lives, man. You know,
That's an honorable thing to do.
that
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
it's crazy because security, which I'm gonna have to go deep and balls deep this year. Never give up. I'm gonna have to sit down with some people and do because it's a bet. You're supposed to get 35% of our government.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm gonna have to get to it.
Right. No doubt, no doubt. But hey, fellas, man, it's been nice chopping up with y'all. I'm about to take my head to sleep. I know my wife probably up there knocked the hell out. Like, where's my husband, man? But hey, it's been good chopping up with y'all brothers. And hey, how do you pronounce your name one more time, King?
Neymar.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
okay.
Cohold.
Well, it's nice meeting you, brother. It's nice meeting you.
Or star, which means star. Cohold means star.
Start. Okay, cool. Charles, it's always real, man. I had to jump on your live. I ain't been on in a while, but I try to support, man.
Luckily, always a pleasure. I'm just doing the late, the night shift.
Yeah, that's why it's hard for me to catch your live because I know you, man. Masante told me, man, you be on here late, so I'm like, oh man, I can't do it. But he was like, yeah, Mosh, you be asleep, so
Sometimes I'll do it mid like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But
yeah,
I try to bump heads with everybody, so I try to do it. This is my second one today because I had to get some shit off my chest earlier. So
fair
it,
enough,
it's
fair enough.
it's funny because sometimes I look at black women and I'll be like, y'all could win very easily if you just knew how.
Bro. Cooperation, bro.
It's not like it's the hardest goddamn thing to ask for.
It's not. Especially if you're asking for provision and protection and shit. I mean, come on now. Seems like you pretty even trained.
The least is I could get you.
Transactional. That
But
word's
like I
becoming
said,
dirty.
bro, it's been real though. I'm gonna let y'all go though, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna holler at you later, Charles.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Domination. Man.
I tell people, sometimes when it comes to
Mhm.
like relationships, man, why do they have to be so fucking difficult? And that's the plagues of it, man.
I think these conversations have. I mean, when it comes to relationships, you got to first of all know who you are and what you want. And if that person can't help you, you should be at least be amicable about it. Like, at least be cordial about everything. You know. I remember my father used to tell me, it doesn't cost you anything to be respectful.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, some just never got the memo.
And that's part of the issue right there is that we became a people lost in the sauce. We
Mm.
we value we value stupidity over substance.
The entire world is becoming that as well, and I don't think you can understand like why a lot of brothers are just stepping out, living longer because stress will kill you. Stress kills long enough.
I mean, I want you to think
I've
about it.
also here's the thing I've also realized is like like what I mentioned earlier, like people with like high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, the hypertension, whatnot. There's got to be more natural ways to to regulate that without the need to use like medication. because like
Well,
there's some certain things can like have side effects, and some people don't even read the pamphlets. But then again, you guys get them in those little vials with the directions, with no pamphlet to like read what you're taking or do the research, because certain these things have like certain side effects. Like they could run the risk of you can increase your risk of having like stroke or internal bleeding or something like that, or some kind of complications if they been used in the long term. I mean, that's why you guys are just pilled the fuck out. You guys getting prescriptions for this, that, and the third. Let's not forget, the the opioid crisis. I mean, how many people knew what the dangers of oxycodone and Percocets were before they were prescribed those things?
uh, oh, you're gonna give me a Schedule Two drug? Oh,
Yeah,
nobody knew. Everybody knew.
how
They
addictive they are. I mean, what the hell?
regulate that shit. All your
Yeah.
Percocets, all your Oxys, all your Hydros, all that variation of cocaine. Even though the funny thing in Maryland law, cocaine's a
Hmm.
Schedule Two drug and marijuana's a Schedule One. You can laugh when you think about it.
I never understood the whole schedule. One schedule? I don't understand the type of story.
Ways is a Schedule Four, meaning could you meaning the level of medical use can be utilized for this drug.
Schedule for? Well, in the case of marijuana, absolutely. You have any idea how much it can treat people with back issues? It's
That's
also a
because
way to
it was
treat
a
people. Cancer patients have to use it to counteract, the side effects of chemo.
back in the day, it wasn't a medical use. So
The hemp and everything, hemp oil, CBD oils, the THC. They've been known to help people with what is it, Parkinson's? Not Parkinson's, sorry. I think it's Parkinson's. Parkinson's and other neurological disorders. People who experience seizures.
hmm
Cannabinoids have been proven to be very helpful in that. Just like what's it called? Psilocybin mushrooms have been known to help people with who suffer from cluster headaches. Man, you don't want to have those headaches. I've seen people who suffer from them. It scares the hell out of me. Um, Another thing called, psilocybin has also been used to help people with OCD. Although I know not to mess with it right now because not without adult supervision. Somebody wants more crisis rooms. I'm like, no. As
Sometimes you
much as
got
I wanted not to do it because I'm prone to psychosis. Thank God for
uh,
self awareness because I knew it was like, wow, if I try that, I know what's gonna happen. No, don't have to do it. I'm sorry. So
sometimes
you
you
want to
got to
say something? Hmm?
sometimes raise your hand and say, "I need an adult. I need an adult."
I need adult supervision. There's time. I know. I just know that the chance that if I'm gonna try something like that, I know the chances of shit going left is going to be very extreme if I don't have somebody to keep a watchful eye just in case shit goes wrong. Like I remember I had somebody had to. I remember the first time I had to like the self test, self testing things for COVID. I had to do it on myself, but I asked my doctor if he could keep a watchful eye on me so I don't hurt myself. Because I remember when I did it up the nose, I had a bad reaction.
That's the same thing about a hit of cocaine. Yeah, nah, never took cocaine. Well, kind of. If you took oxycodone and what's the other one?
That
If you took oxy and codeine, you took cocaine variation.
there's also Vicodin,
Yeah. Oh, Viking.
Valium, which is an antidepressant. Then again, I can tell you, like if you take an antidepressant like SSRIs or antipsychotics, which I have taken, I was prescribed for a time, on and off. That will fuck with your metabolism. The side effects of antidepressants, antipsychotics is they can affect your metabolism to the point that uh, it just like and it causes you to like gain a lot of weight. You can't no, you just gain a lot of weight, which also, and if you use it for long terms, it could probably increase your chances of type 2
Attention.
diabetes if you're not careful. It
Yeah.
also affects people,
Hey, man, you tell me
being, hmm?
you diabolical.
I am diabolical. I just don't want to have diabetes. I know somebody who has whose family has a family history of diabetes on her father's side. Uh,
Not
I
the
also
beat.
know that
Oh Lord, not the beaties. Not the
not
sugar.
the not the sugar. You don't want to lose a leg, man.
Boy,
You'd be surprised. People in my parents' generation in the late '90s, early 2000s were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, man. Some had to get a leg amputation or some had both legs amputated.
my mother's sister, my aunt had to. God rest her,
Oh man,
God rest her soul. She had to.
one of my I got a good uncle. One of my uncles is like the second father to me. He has type 1 diabetes.
He was
That
born with it.
brother, yeah, yeah, he's he's also I mentioned this earlier this year. He was diagnosed with male breast cancer, but they caught it early, underwent successful treatment for it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he's good. Jovial man. This guy's like 6'7", big man. He's just like always been a jovial person. But he just give you a certain look. If you said the wrong thing, give you a certain look. You better back off. You did
Mm-hmm.
not want that hands on you. He didn't he wasn't somebody to fuck with. But he was very suave, good looking cat. Rocked a suit because he was like he was white collar, professional, everything. So respect that man. That was he was one of the reasons why I had to be very, very vigilant about sugar intake and whatnot. And here's something I think I've mentioned this before, but this needs to be said again. Chadwick Boseman isn't the fucked up part about what happened when Chadwick Boseman passed away. Everybody was saying, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, Wakanda forever. But considering the fact that he died from terminal colorectal cancer, you would think a lot of more brothers would realize, you know what, I need to go see a gastrointestinal a specialist and get that colonoscopy done. Because remember, one of our boys, Herbert, he opened up about the fact he had a colonoscopy and they found, polyps in his colon, precancerous cells in his colon. So getting those colonoscopies done just to make sure your colon's working right and everything helps. And if it's not one thing, it's always another because if it's not cancer, you got to worry about things like diverticular disease or diverticulitis or bowel obstruction. But people don't want to talk about that stuff, man.
Nope, because nobody wants to talk about the finger, the proverbial finger, the camera, all kinds of things in your butthole.
Man, I had mine done early this year. I had mine done in April.
Oh
And
no. Oh no, you gay. Oh no. So what
not,
about
hey, hey, I ain't scared of I ain't scared of a prognosis scope because I broke my father's foot in my ass. And secondly, this wasn't my first rodeo. And at least I got to watch on the monitor.
if you've been in the military, you got to get all kinds of tests done to you. So
Hmm. Just like the whole thing about the prostate exam. I mean, they don't only just check your prostate; they screen you for testicular cancer, penile cancer. Because yeah, rare cases folks can get cancer on their penis. In the worst case scenario, you might have to get a penectomy. That's a surgical removal of the penis. But they also check your prostate, not just for prostate cancer, but also for something called prostatitis.
Let the doctor go check.
Hmm?
Let the doctor check your balls.
Prostatitis. I don't think a lot of people know what that is, and I think it needs to be raised aware about that. I mean, if you know about an old man who's always complaining that he can't pee right because because of swollen prostate, that is prostatitis.
Oh yeah. You don't want none of that shit, boy. You don't want no. Want your shit so swollen that you can't even fucking get your piss through.
You can't get your piss because that swelling is like putting pressure on your bladder and on
You're
your urethra.
going through some Hank Hill shit.
Ugh. I remember one of my favorite shows. It's a Norwegian American show called Lillehammer, and what was it? There was this British guy who was like who was supposed to go into a house to get hit, right? And this is a man who's like middle aged, like pushing 70, might be in the 70s. He's like, oh, he was like, cussing like a Brit, with Cockney in his Cockney slang. He had to use the bathroom, and it took him a while to get it, to get it rolling. Oh, excuse me, to get it flowing. So he's in there just like, come on. He's cussing himself out, and then finally he just had to calm himself down by singing a certain song, and then that's when it started flowing. I also realized he had to take some type of medication to help with it. But I'm like, dude, how long has this been dealing with? If it's swollen, it means you've been dealing with it for quite some time and have just been neglecting it. So that,
Yeah. You don't
you
want
need to
that.
get up.
You you don't want your doctor to give you a coochie, man. Take care of yourself.
At least, I mean,
Hey,
I
doc.
got tests. I had the PSA test done. I mean, they don't do the finger. They do PSA tests here. So mine done last year. I mean, to planning on either get it done by the end of this year or the beginning of next
Hey, doc. Hey, doc. My shit swelled up to the size of the circumference of a 2 liter soda. Is this normal? My wife's taking advantage of it.
I remember,
Doc.
was it?
Dude, I mean, it looks like it can vote. What the fuck? I know it's not funny, but it's funny.
Uh,
Now, the one
DL
body is up to be swollen, then it's not healthy if it is. Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
that's not a good time when it's flowing like that. I mean, like, I've never had that type, hang on a second. Gotta get my Bluetooth on. Hang on a second. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yep. They're like, hey, Doc. I mean, it's on small. It's like the circumference of a water bottle. Is that normal? Oh, quite not,
Yeah.
son.
Can y'all hear me?
You're
All right.
good.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah. I was on loudspeaker the whole time. Kind of had to let my Bluetooth headsets, recharge. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Just talking, just like that swollen prostate. I mean, D.L. Hewley talked about how he had to get the prostate exam and everything, and they discovered he had prostatitis, but it was like early stages of it. It was a mild case, and like his wife was like, "What the hell is that?" His mother, he had his wife and his kids with him, and when the doctor said, "Well, when she said, "What's prostatitis?" The doctor said, "Women get bladder infections, men usually get prostatitis." His wife got up, told the kids to wait in, and the kids are all teenagers, early 20s, told the kids to wait in the hallway. Soon as the kids left, she closed the door. She looks at the doctor and says, "How did this motherfucker get it?" Because
Mm.
prostatitis sounds like you got it from a prostitute. And he's like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And he's trying to act like he ain't been cheating or something like that. And he's like explaining it. No, prostatitis is not like that. All right. Can you get it? It's not like this. It's not an STD. You sure you can't get it from fucking a bitch? I said, from, it's not from fucking somebody. You're more likely to get prostatitis from lack of fucking.
Yeah.
Because
Remember,
the thing is, that
oh,
you're swollen.
yeah.
Hang
Oh,
on. Wait. Come on, stop, please, please.
ah, great. Ah, let everybody know that you told me that. Oh, sound like your favorite
No.
band song. Ah, oh, 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 oh. Yep. Next time I bust a nut, do it.
You mean,
Do it. Oh,
well, wait. When was the last time you saw Lexington Steel porno?
oh, good God, that man was over the top.
Oh God! Ah!
Like,
Oh shit! Uh,
man, you don't
Make
let
you
them.
want to laugh so hard you might short and shit.
You don't let them.
But
Can't, can't, shit, can't nut. What can you do?
but for real, seriously, prostatitis prostatitis comes about usually when you haven't been fucking or jerking off or busting a nut on a regular basis. Because if your prostate becomes atrophied, because remember inside is supposed to be alkaline. Your bladder is acidic. The pH value in your bladder is acidic because of uric acid. But your prostate, because it produces seminal fluid, has to be alkaline. If it becomes inactive, it's going to become acidic. It's going to be swollen and irritated, and that's when you're going to start having problems. And most of the time, it has nothing to do with bacterial. In rare cases, it can be caused by a bacterial infection. Like say if a bacteria that was in your bladder somehow managed to get into your prostate or something like that. It took that, like say, it took that left turn from Albuquerque, as Bugs
Well,
Bunny would say.
remember, if your doctor's gonna tell you, what's the
Sometimes you gotta say fuck it and whip it out.
sometimes you feel like it,
Preferably,
not sometimes you don't. But guess what? Bust that nut.
yeah, you gotta bust that nut. In one way, find a perfect, opportune time to bust a nut. Get that evil out. They say, get rid of the poison, as they say. Shit. There's some cats who worked at a sex shop, where they had sex toys and everything. And I would come over to visit, check out some of the merchandise, and we talk shit and have a few jokes about this, that, and the third. And we were talking about some of the health stuff in there. I should have bought more stuff from them. They had great prices there.
Remember,
Yeah.
skeet, skeet, skeet for the home team.
uh, you gotta skeet like a motherfucker, and unless you don't mind doing laundry, I suggest make sure you skeet in something you can do, like condoms or something like that. That way, it's easy to get rid of the evidence.
Hmm. Like, oh God,
Don't
and
do it
oh,
inside. Hmm?
unless you want your socks to come back with child support.
Definitely. Or some
Oh,
tissues, Hey. Because of the porn industry, a lot of people investing in Kleenex stocks.
oh yeah. Especially y'all not taking days off. Oh, shit.
Uh, you ever see the movie Something About Mary? Do
Mm-hmm.
you
Who
remember?
said
It was like, was it like no, just before that. Like like they say you're supposed to rub one out before you go on a date, and like what's his name? I forgot the actor's name, but they said to Ben Stiller's character. So did you get it out, get rid of that evil? Please tell me you did spank the monkey before you did, right? Come on, man. You tell me you didn't choke the chicken? Huh?
Hmm.
You didn't shake the carrot?
I'm still wondering
You didn't
how do
shake
you
hands with the first president? Hmm?
I'm still wondering how the hell did you even get it through the zipper?
Or like what Dick with Keith David said to him. So is the problem more with the beans or the frame? How did you?
Oh, I'm just like, how the fuck did you do that?
Oh man.
Ah! I've been like, just shoot me. The date's over.
Oh man. You gotta Man, you gotta protect your nuts at all times. So sometimes when you gotta sit down, sometimes you gotta make sure you don't sit on your nuts. That hurts. I'm like, oh, that gotta hurt. I'm like, man, sitting on your balls. When you like sometimes when you sit down and sit on your balls by accident.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
First time you ever sit on your balls, it's like, oh my God.
I mean that the pain that comes with it. Mm-mm. That's gonna change That's gonna change your outlook for the next for at least a couple hours. And you're like, oh man, you be singing like a soprano. Yeah, people sometimes forget. Like this is no joke. I know we know too many comedy. A lot of comedy. They talk about guys getting hit below the belt. Some get shot up the ass. I'm like, I mean, people forget. Your testicles are out there for a reason. You're supposed to. I mean, it has a lot to do with the fact that the temperature in your testicles cannot be the same as in your body
Yep, I
for the
got
most
it.
part.
Just unfortunate.
Sperm cells, because sperm cell at a certain temperature, they have to be within a certain temperature range.
You'll
Too
kill him.
much, too high, and you'll kill them. Yeah, too high, and you might go sterile.
Yep.
That's the problem with if you ever notice, like we'll take lions for example. Females always are drawn to males with darker manes.
And big balls.
The hmm But the ones with the darker manes, that the problem is like one, they can't hunt in the daytime because their manes give them away, because most antelope, they see in black and white, and in the tall grass, a dark mane lion just stands out. Secondly, if you're out in the daytime, that mane draws, because it's darker, draws a lot of heat. Raises his core to his core body temperature.
Plus, even the lions are much more successful at night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Killing what you got. Uh-huh. because the cats have night vision. The cat's night vision is impeccable.
Better than probably our night vision goggles.
Hmm. The best one, the best cats, the best big cats. The big cats with the best night vision are usually leopards, especially if it's like a moonless night or something like that. They stand that they can just they can lock in and everything.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hyena is also a good night vision. Um, Hippos, I'm not sure. Who else? Rhinos have bad eyesight. In the daytime, they're ornery, but at night, they're more calm, they're chill, and they're more sociable. Hippos are just a lot more, or hippos are a little more aggressive. But at night, they come out when it's cooler, and they're just more sociable that way. Guess the
As, so,
heat makes everybody crazy,
as sociable as you can be.
and that's sociable they can be. Hey, Luz, you there?
You're probably sleeping.
Yeah. What time is it over there?
Uh,
It's almost 11. It's almost 11 a.m. over here.
almost 5. We got Mahogany. What's up, Mahogany? What's up, Roy? I mean, you got to think about it. Yeah.
Hey, Roy. Hey,
You
come
got
on up, man. Seno, come on up, man.
Mahogany, come on up. When it comes to your health, I think black
Hmm.
men really, really lacking in that because you need to take care of your health. You can't, I don't, if your wife's great to you, which she should be, I
Yeah,
mean, the initiatives for your health, regardless. And I think we're not taught to think of ourselves if we don't work. I think a lot of black men are stuck in that if we don't work, we don't have value shit. And it really,
yeah.
if it really mentally fucks with you,
Hmm.
think of yourself like that.
Or like how, because when you talk about that, like if we're not working, we're not, that's why men are so scared to go to the doctors. I'm like, dude, going to the doctor is like taking your car to the mechanic. You got to get a tune up, right? So going to the doctor to get a physical, you're just investing in your health.
You have to because nobody
Mm.
else for you. Hey, Mahogany.
Hey, Charles. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
We got a tunnel runner. What's up, Roy?
Good
So
morning.
now,
Good
hey,
morning.
bro,
Good
how you
morning.
been?
Been good. Been good.
Long
How's the
time.
wife?
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing good.
Long,
Mm-hmm. That's
long,
far.
Mahogany,
Huh?
long time no see. How you been?
I know. I'm okay. I just so you know, May was bragging on you. You know, May the alchemist. She
Mm.
said she had a conversation with you, and um, she I guess she enjoyed the conversation. That's all I could remember.
Yeah.
And I
Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I like to listen in on y'all men's conversations, but and I saw you were live, so I said, "Oh, let me see what they're talking about." Normally, I just stay in the clouds, but I said, "Let me just drop down."
It's nice.
Um,
Yeah, we're just talking a little bit about health. And I remember that conversation. We were on AB's channel,
um,
and a lot of times, a lot of black women are not used to black artists about their feelings. And I told her, I said, a lot of men in this space are married. A lot of these men have raised children. A lot of these men have been in relate. It's very few people in the black community as black males who are incels. And when we deal with relationships, we're talking about, we don't even blame other women for other women's things. We just notice a pattern, which it develops culture. So I said, you know what's bad? I said, the sad thing about culture is this: the people you love the most don't love and respect you. And that's the heartbreak of being a black male in America. And once you get that love and respect once in a while, it's not regulated. It's so few and far between. And you're talking about black men who've been raised by their mothers and grandmothers, grandfathers and fathers. And
Hmm.
you're not seen as valuable. That that plays on a person's psychological profile. And when you have issues of black boys in school, you have to say, why are they failing? It's because nobody believes in them. Nobody wants to think they're worthy to teach them. Nobody wants to take the bother to do so. And the messed up part is that we've gotten to a point that we look at black boys as less than. We look at black boys as not worth it. What's that going to do for the next generation of fathers? What is that going to do for the next generations of brothers, of mentors, of black leadership? We don't. We live in such a novel world that we don't take into consideration of it. That's what May really found out. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna tell you the honest. Like I told her, I'm gonna tell you the honest. We don't hate you. We're just disappointed. We want to have black families. We're not the ones saying we're abandoned. Matter of fact, that's one of the biggest insults is abandon. And when we look at it, we have to take a very finite view that a lot of a lot of racist a lot of racist groups always want to tear black men down, and I get it strictly why. Because one, if black men are not at the bottom, who else can you blame? If black men are not defeated, we got to make ourselves. We can't make ourselves the real enemy and tell the truth. And that's the thing that May had to realize.
Hmm.
If you actually told the truth about the black struggle, especially black male struggle, I never said black females don't struggle, but our struggles are different. There's a reason why they go out of their way to go subjugate black men because that same black man raised his fist and weapon against the country. COINTELPRO says we don't want the black messiah here. We don't want that black messiah. Why do you think they had to say, "Hey, we want we want that goddamn woman under our control"? Because if you take control of the woman, who's how much influence does she have over the children?
Once you have the women and the children, the men soon follow.
Because you can destroy that first generation of men. The next generation of men, she's going to do what they did in slavery. She's going to break them.
She'll break them to protect it. She'll break them thinking she's trying to protect them. Women
And
are so fearful of what that could happen to that child if they don't, reprimand him immediately.
mhm. And it's the same thing going on. We never broke the shackles of slavery. This is what a lot never understood. This is the reason why, if you want to see why certain women like less than compromised men, this is why. If the guy was, we could never be a maverick because if that guy is a maverick, we're less than.
She could, or radical. There are people with radical thoughts that can, make people so nervous, uncomfortable. They think, all hell is going to come and visit everybody because they understand that person is not just going to be reprimanded. They're going to, the entire community is going to be held accountable because the dominant society loves to dish out collective punishment, if I'm not mistaken. So, Mahogany, I got a question.
Sure, I'm right here. I'm just listening.
Yeah. How did you get that name, Mahogany?
Oh, it
Is it
was
from that fish? Let me guess. Is it from the Diana Ross, Billy D. Williams movie from the 70s?
no, but everybody always asks me that. No, it was a friend of mine.
Uh,
In the middle, and a friend of mine gave me that nickname because he said I had a reddish undertone to my dark skin because I'm brown skin, but he always said that he saw a reddish undertone in my skin, especially when I I guess laughed real hard, but and it
ah,
was just something that he said to me, and he said, "I'm gonna start
mhm,
calling you Mahogany." So that's actually in real life a nickname that someone gave to me.
mhm.
Hey, there,
Okay, so we're thinking more. Okay, so you're kind of like Angie Stone, how you got a mahogany soul.
Yeah, I think so.
there
And
were
then
Hmm.
Roots.
Hey, too
Mhm.
many people named Ebony, so we need a mahogany here.
there,
It's a beautiful, beautiful, strong wood. So I said, "Oh, that kind of fits my character." So I said, "Okay, I'll go with Mahogany Roots."
yeah, that's what she said.
Thank
But
Mhm.
it's there are worse.
you.
It's a nice nickname. Beautiful. What's up with you, Tunnel Runner? How you been?
Oh, everything's been good. Everything's been good. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just like we're saying about that power dynamic. It kind of it messes up our society and our community because if the men are not in charge, we got chaos.
And
Mhm.
the craziest part is that when you have capabilities, I think that's what really messes with people because when you see capable men, it used to be that women would go for that, but now you're up in the you're up in the atmosphere. You're like, okay, what do we get?
Yeah, I mean, it said it's the numbers have said that the most productive black men have the least children, and the less productive have more children in the black community, which is just it's a way to disaster.
Well, you gotta think why you have got there, you know, coming up and having all those children. Why? Because those men are compromised. There's nothing else for them to do. And when we look at it very carefully, we have to say, "Hey, at what point do we bet? At what point do we prosper? Do we Are we willing to go through this leadership clause?"
I have a question for y'all, for the men up here, for all of you.
Mhm.
I I wasn't going to come up here because I'm not in the happiest of moods. I had kind of a a rough night. But I really want to know. The issue that I know a lot of women have is deciphering between the good man and the no good man. Now, sometimes it's obvious. You're right. Sometimes it's obvious. They got kids everywhere. They're not taking care of the kids they have. But what happens when, because the problem, well, I know for me and a lot of my female friends, the issue is that they all, if you were to ask 1,000 men in a room, I would say probably at least 980 of them would say that they're a good man. No one's going to say, hey, I'm a good man. They're going to say I'm a good man, but they're not going to say I'm going to cheat. They're not going to say I'm going to run up your credit. They're not going to say I'm going to lie. They're not going to say the things, the other side of them. And I know nobody's perfect, but how are women supposed to know sometimes? Sometimes it's really hard to know what they're dealing with.
Well, to answer your question very fully, that was usually the job of the father. And what's the number one thing we took out of black homes? The authority of the father. You were supposed to bring that guy up to your dad, and your dad's supposed to give him a look up and down and talk to him while you're in the other room with your mom or doing something. Or cooking, not to sound like, oh, you just gotta cook. No, because the same way he's supposed to prove to your father that he's a capable man, you're supposed to prove to him that you're a capable woman, right? So when you look at it, ask yourself this question: how many of those women are close to their fathers? Number two, women tend to judge men by actions, excuse me, by feelings. Men judge other men by actions. Does that make sense, Mahogany?
Yeah, it does.
See, when y'all get those little butterflies in your stomach, not saying men don't, and this is where men fuck up as well, because we don't test that woman to see, okay, we think if she's pretty and she does a few good things, we think she's a good woman. But we don't test her, and we don't even ask to get value out of that woman. But yet, women don't look at the actions of that man and say, hey, does he have a good character? Because they'll tell you if you're a little kid, your daddy was an asshole. So if you're using logic, only assholes get laid. Why would you give an asshole a baby? And one thing you have to realize in our community is that a lot of people love that behavior. A lot of women crave that behavior. So one, go ahead.
Oh no, I was wondering. I wanted. Well, I mean, I'm still listening to you. I wanted. Well, I'm waiting for everybody to give me their answer because I'm very curious, and I've asked this question on my own channel before. It's just like, and I agree with you. The answers that you're giving me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just really crazy.
Anybody?
Well, I would say there's a lot of things that at a young age, if we're talking about younger people, you could see certain things. How's he doing in school? Is he an athlete? Is he a honest person? I mean, talking and seeing what they do. Now things can change, but those should be some of the things that we're looking at what is he doing? Does he honor his words? A lot of these things need to be looked at, and it's just kind of some of the, like, basic things on how you find a good person. I think we
Yeah.
let other things, distract us, from these good person goals of what people are doing and how they're doing it. And things can change, but hopefully you'll find the right one who doesn't change up on you.
Okay. Well,
What was
I,
some?
I thought I had the man of my dreams, and he turned out to be the man of my nightmares. And so no, I wasn't talking about young people. I'm older. I look young, but I'm older. I'm probably older
Wait,
than all of you on
how
this
old?
panel.
How old
How old?
are
I'm
you?
I'm 46. But I don't look
Ah,
everybody tells me I don't look 46. Most people don't even believe that I'm 46. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just telling you the truth. And when I was
oh,
30,
don't
I was
worry, don't worry. I'm 43, and most people still think I'm in my 20s.
yeah.
I'm
So
23 and I get hit on by girls under 20s.
yeah, so
Lucky bastard.
Lucky.
well, that's what. Okay, so I'll be more specific. They're paying all the bills. They've been in your life. They come home every night. They are affectionate. They pretty much do anything for you, but they are living a double life. You know, I've seen that happen. I've had conversation with girlfriends, and then sometimes like a divorce will pop up, and everybody's wondering why, but they don't know what's going on behind doors. That this man has had a family across town, or he's got a baby, an outside baby on the way, and all this hell. Like some of these dudes are just woo. And so to the outside looking in into everybody else, he looks like an angel. He looks like he's the perfect guy. But they don't know what this woman is going through at the house, that, she's finding whatever she's finding, whether it's on the phone, whether it's underwear in the car. They don't know the hell that she's going through. And that I never thought that in a million years that I would ever um, you know,
Did he
have
cheat on you?
I believe so. Of course he'll deny it, but I believe so. I believe he's currently cheating, but that's why I'm
How
leaving
long?
this.
How long you been together?
um 14 years. 14 years.
Uh,
Do
And
you have children?
well, he's been in my son's life since he was 11 years old, but no, but he doesn't replace my son's father, but I know he loves my son. I'll put it to you that way.
Okay.
is it
Mhm.
something?
And he has children too, and I'm very close to his girls. He's got 2 girls. They're grown, of course, but we're very close. It's just a weird thing. You stay with somebody that long, you're gonna get close to their family.
Mm, I get that. I can get that. My thing is like, if you're not sure, don't do anything. Just make sure you have enough proof to prove that if you don't think it's working out, it's not working out. You're gonna have to do the right thing.
I'm
And
Because the
sure.
longer,
you got to realize this, right? Is it something that's a inkling or something that's so overt? Because there can be an inkling, there can be overt, but
Well,
is
oh,
it
go
very enough to happy home?
Well, and that's the problem. I think he's gotten so bold with it. And that's the most hurtful thing. He's gotten so bold with it. It happened, the first time it happened was about 3, almost 4 years ago. I found something on the phone. I found a picture. A
hmm
nude woman, looked like almost a pornographic, some type of pornographic video. But it wasn't a porn site. It was like a homemade video that someone had sent him, and I couldn't see the woman's face, but I just had a feeling I knew who the woman was. So I confronted him. He called me crazy. He lied and said one of his homeboys sent him that as a joke, a hee hee, a ka a hee hee. But you let me had I can't even talk to another man. I'm getting threatened. Um, I mean, it's just a double standard, y'all just don't even understand the double standard.
Well,
So that was oh, go ahead. I'm
oh,
sorry.
oh yeah, we definitely do.
Then the second time, it happened like a year and a half later. We were doing okay. I was like, okay, it is possible. I know men have a weird sense of humor, so I let him talk a hole in my head, and I left it alone. Then I went through his phone, and there were text messages.
Oh,
Oh yes, yes. After 14 years, he can go through my phone. Why can't I go through his? So I went through his phone, and there was all kinds of messages. I believe from that same woman, asking for money to pay her bills.
Ooh, wow.
Um, yeah, and then he, sometimes would be stingy with me, and a couple times he's not where he's supposed to be. So my mind is just I am too old, y'all, to be going through this. And I've never went through this before with any my son's father. We never went through this. I never had this type of problem before, so
Yeah.
it's embarrassing, but I just don't care anymore. I just want out of it.
It's not
okay.
embarrassing. It happens to the best of us.
Mm.
Sometimes to get together,
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
And he
hey,
did.
hey, hey, hey. You
Uh,
be all right. You
no,
just
no,
gotta
no.
get. You
I'm
just
okay.
real.
I know my voice sounds. Charles knows I like to yell, so my voice probably sounds a little bit cracky, and then I'm coming over of like a cold, so I'm not crying or anything. I
Uh,
she
my throat. I just
she
have like
uh,
has a
yeah.
natural pitch voice.
But then I'm gonna tell you, last night I was invited to a party, and something told me just
mm-hmm.
to take me and my son. It's a party that my job throws at the end of the year, and it's a prestigious
Uh-huh.
thing. It's a very big deal. Lots of doctors,
Christmas party and such. Yeah.
similar, almost like an end of the year thank you party for all the employees. So a lot of important people were going to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
this nonsense came up again because I found the woman's number, and supposedly he had deleted the number. He didn't. So I had a complete breakdown and didn't even go to the party. So I'm just at the point where I've got to get out of this situation because it's not good for me, and it's ruining good opportunities. I should have went to that party tonight. A lot of people were expecting me there, so
Yeah.
things
I
like
Yeah,
that.
but you weren't feeling well as well. So,
Yeah, that's true.
you know,
got to think about
hey,
it.
get well soon.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Please get better and get well. See, this is the part of the black manosphere we don't. People, none of our detractors ever see. Oh, we got a female, and she's going through some strife with a man, and we're supposed to just take the man's side blind. We're,
No.
we're multifaceted, logical human beings, right, fellas?
I'll
Yep,
give you a
yep.
couple of examples. I will tell you, I will say this to Mahogany.
Yes, sir.
I was almost involved with one woman. Of course, this woman is, first of all, bisexual, which was not a problem for me. But she did allude to me that she had cheated on a boyfriend, which let me know, okay, if you're capable of doing something like that, and regardless of the circumstances, if you're willing to cheat on a guy, what makes you think you won't do that to me? So I couldn't deal with her. I could
Mm-hmm.
not get involved with her like that. Secondly, there was a couple of times where she wanted to get involved with me, but I had a gut feeling like it was not a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I do believe
So,
you follow your gut. I do believe in
mhm,
that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, in my case, it was different circumstances, different racing also as well. But you know, but at the end of the day, it's still you're dealing with somebody who has certain baggages that you don't know about, and you should be careful with. So, I would say if you think that there's nothing good with it, you need to get out of there and make a clean break, but make it amicable.
Can I tell you something? How do you say your name? Is it Naima? Naima? Naima?
Nema, Nema,
Naima?
Nema.
I,
Mhm.
now that's an interesting name. Does it mean anything?
Uh, has something. It kind of does, but I don't want to really talk about it.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind of
okay.
personal.
I want to, before I leave, I want to, I'm going to do it on Charles Faulkner show, okay? But I have
Mm-hmm.
for years been in this space, sometimes seemingly causing a little bit of ruckus, but I swear to you that um, I have a love for this space that I think people don't understand, and a love for the people here. And I just want to offer an apology because I would never have done this anyplace else than in this area. I will say this,
It's
I've
all
said it
right.
on my own show,
That's
that,
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten down on some of the not y'all, but some of the talking points and some of the things, some of the people. However, I've always
Mm-hmm.
said the men have been kinder to me than the women have, more sympathetic, more of a listening ear than some of the women have. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm admitting that out loud, and I'm appreciative of that. There was something that you just said, but I wanted to make sure I at least offer that apology. And
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
no, no, of
I
course.
Okay.
my thing is,
I was
I'm gonna say
actually go
this.
ahead, Charles. Go ahead. I'll be up to you.
I can't tell you what to do, but I can advise you in this. You gotta worry about number one. If this is
Mm-hmm.
something with your health, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I can't be in something that's taken a toll on me for very long. It's one thing to have a once in a while something might have happened, but you also have to make a decision. Is this worth it to stay in it? If it's not, you know what
Woo.
you
Okay.
got to
You
do.
you're right. Let me can oh, that's what I wanted to bring up to you, Charles. So I tried to leave a couple times because I said, honestly, I can't even believe I'm in this situation. I've always been a woman that has had a good self-esteem about herself, and but I'm so many things, like you said, my health, me getting older, a lot of things, my mom getting older and sicker, a lot of things have kept me here that probably not a good reason to stay. However, every time I would try to leave, because after the last time when I saw the messages and he was paying the bills, I left. He'll come and get me. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll never forget. I was staying at my mom's house for a few days. Well, guess what? He knows where
Mm-hmm.
my mom stays, and of course, he convinced her to let him in and talk to me. And it's just, Charles. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's people make it hard for you to go on about your way sometimes.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. Definitely been there. I mean, you got to figure out and have a conversation with yourself on what you really, really want and what you. And I'm going to tell you this. This is the biggest thing. I want you to really pay attention to this.
Okay.
You need to go somewhere by yourself. Take a pen and a piece of paper. Draw a line through that paper, right in the middle. What I want versus what I need. My pros and cons. What you want versus what you need. Is this a pro to keep going? Is this beneficial keeping going? Am I part of the issue? Am I not part of the issue? And you have to open up with yourself very honest and say what's going on. And you're going to have to
Yes.
make a decision off of that by yourself without any distractions, anyone there.
Yes, and I will. I'm gonna get ready to go get dressed because it's early. But what is this channel not monetized? Where's your dollar sign thing?
Well, the only thing I got is cash at YouTube.
Can you drop it in the chat? I don't have my phone on me right now, but I will. I will have it. Can you drop it in the chat? What's your cash app?
It's basically my name.
Charles Faulkner.
Charles Faulkner Jr. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I will
Mm-hmm.
give me a couple of minutes. I think. Oh, I think it's on the charger.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will send it to you. I really appreciate all you gentlemen, and like I said, I
All right.
apologize for some of
Oh
the
no,
things.
no, no. Don't be. But Mahogany, I will say this:
Sure.
for peace of mind, if you do decide to walk away from this relationship for good and make it a clean break, I would say forgive him
Hmm.
Well, yeah,
because
I don't hate
you
him.
don't want you don't you should so you be amicable about it because the last thing you want is really is to leave with some baggage.
But imagine this, Naima. This happened. So we had been separated for quite a while. I just couldn't take it anymore, the lies. So at least 8 months had went by, and finally I started talking to someone, and he picks up the phone and says, "Oh, you're on the phone. You know, basically accusing me of cheating, and you know, and of course, basically running anybody off that would be interested in me, you know." And so this is kind of what I've been going through for years. He wants to have his cake and eat it. His cake, the cake down the street, the cake up the road.
Can anybody wait? Oh, wait! Hold a second. Alexa, play "Son of a Gun" by Janet Jackson. If you remember that song.
Oh
Ha
yeah,
ha hoo hoo! We get the money too. Greedy motherfucker, try to have his cake and eat it too.
I love Janet. Yeah, I know the song. Well, I'm gonna let you
That was a
gentlemen
good
have
joint.
it. Yeah. Did everybody get to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure
You
to
really
meet you.
sound like you're a joy to me. You sound like you're such a joy to be around. Got a good
I
head on your
think
shoulder, clearly.
I've raised hell on YouTube, but I think so in real life. I think I am. I think I
Oh,
remember you. Haven't you been? Because your avatar looks familiar. Have I know you
yeah.
probably have you been on Sister George's show before? In Concrete Rose. Have I seen you over there?
No,
Oh,
no. You might have seen me on someone else's channels and whatnot, where I, I'm usually like, chopping up, breaking some intelligent stuff or saying some funny stuff
oh, okay,
because I'm not even, I'm not, I mean, I'm not even that, I'm not, I mean, I'm African, first of all, not ADOS. So I'm
okay,
like on the outside looking in, and we have these conversations, and we trade notes here about what's it like for Black people here, there. It's like it's a huge brotherhood we have here.
okay,
So we all support each other and everything.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't
who
have.
else do you subscribe to? Who else do you subscribe
Oh
to?
man, I'm subscribed to so many people you guys would not believe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, I just like to look. I just like to look, and I like to listen. And I've done that for years throughout the space. Like there are people I've been watching for years, and I've never dropped down. I think when I dropped down on Charles, me and Charles, we met, and it was not the good first meeting. I think I met, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Charles. I think I met him on Platinum Elites, but I didn't know who he was. And everybody tried to tell me who he was, that he was a police officer and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then, and
I,
then,
I didn't really care for Platinum because he was super simping.
yeah, well, I don't know a lot of I'm not around a lot, so people think I know things that I don't always know. Sometimes I'm just hopping in just like everybody else. But also then the second time, him and Mary and I are pretty close as content creators. And I'm a mod over there, and I guess they got into it. And Mary, I guess, was kind of mentioning him. So I said, let me check this dude out. So I just started listening that night, and Charles would do a video, he would do a video, and then one morning, early in the morning, I said, "Let me talk to this guy," because he was up here by himself. Well, he was talking. He had a lot of people in the chat room, but I wanted to talk to him one on one. I like to get YouTubers one on one so we can have a conversation, and it was a nice conversation. And I remember what I said to him. I said, "What on earth are you doing in this space?" Because I told him I thought he was a nice looking man. And why is he in this space? Because y'all got to understand and now I see that that's not true. But a lot of women think that it's a lot of incel. Like that's what we think because it's not y'all. Sometimes, like say, for instance, in a chat like the Roger Report, Roger might be different. But in his chat room, there can be all kinds of things being said. So you're thinking, oh my God, everybody's alike, but you don't realize that everybody's not alike. And now I've been here long enough and I realize that there's differences between the people versus some of the people in the chat room. Because I even have people in my chat room that say things and I'm like, y'all need to cut that out. Stop that. But I'll correct them. I'll be like, hey, don't say that. Don't do that.
Yeah, and you got to realize. And Here's a point, and thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome.
If a guy who females find attracting issues is the so-called, I never call it the non-select guys. That's not mine. That's Ron Will's. It tells you something. There's a cultural deference because no matter how much you go through, no matter how much we'll look at things in a different sphere, there has to be a cultural issue. Just like if we go through, why is it that black boys have such a time in school? Is it the black boy himself, or is it the culture that's around him? Because once you take that black boy out of the culture, he's surpassing white boys and Asian boys. And we don't
Mm.
like to admit that there are certain things we hold back from slavery, how we look at them. Let me see something. CJ, what's up? CJ, what's up?
Oh, what's going on? Thanks for letting me on, champ. I know it's the first time I've been up on the panel. Shout out to everyone. But I just want to speak real quick. I've been lurking for probably like, I don't know, a year and a half on your channel. Got you tapped in with you from Edward Anderson. So shout out to him too.
Okay.
Even though he got me blocked over a misunderstanding, I still watch his stuff. But I'm gonna say it like this. Um, no, I absolutely agree that it's at this point it is cultural, and we can argue the sources of that, the origins of it. You know, that's out of our hands, right? Whatever happened,
Well,
all.
well, you blurking up
I'm sorry. Can you hear
now.
me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wrap it up like this. Uh, Tulsa and whatever other sabotage was done to us, we gotta we got to acknowledge it, but what's the solution, right? So, and I don't want to be dismissive of that. That was obviously nefarious, but yeah. At this point, our problems are cultural, and we got to address it head on. We got to be the ones to solve it. So we got to supply the solution, not say, "Well, it's messed
Mhm.
up because of this." I wanted to say that real quick, but salute to you, man. I've been rocking with you. I've been lurking for a while, and I appreciate your content.
Salute. Thanks. Thank you for viewing. Well, this is the same thing I've told people. If you don't identify the problem, you'll never get to the solution.
Mm.
Or
And that's one of the, I need to revamp the things. I might just, the things black people don't do too well is solve a solution. Why? Because they don't want to admit the goddamn problem. And when the goddamn problem's cultural, that means you have an issue with your culture. And black people don't like to talk about issues with your culture. For example, how many people like to hide? How many people don't want to keep? How many people hide the fact that there's a aunt or uncle who touches the little kids of the family?
uh,
But but how many times nothing happens to that uncle? That uncle doesn't go to jail. There's always some fucking excuse. And who's the first person they tell you not to? Don't tell your dad. Why? Because they know the dad's gonna put a fucking axe to his skull.
right.
And end up going to prison for it.
And
I've seen some things like that. It wasn't an uncle in this case, but yeah, I've seen it. I mean,
and
not
this.
seen it personally, but I suspected. I was a child though. I don't
Mhm.
want to put too much family business out there, but yeah, it wasn't an uncle. It was yeah.
And remember, we don't like to solve problems openly, and that's our issue. We should have took care of that before we created another issue, which means now we got children in the family who might become predators themselves or have mental issues for the rest of their lives. So instead of
Mostly the latter, not the former.
yeah, and instead of taking care of the issues and finding out what's the root cause of the matter, which most of our culture came from slave culture.
Hmm.
Think when Tulsa, Oklahoma happened, we had so much money. When you get a lot of money, what's the second thing you must do just by military science? When you start getting money and
Defend it. Defend what you have.
so how
Right.
many exactly? So how many goddamn we let's I'm going to ask this one question. What's the black version of Benelli? What's the black version of Smith and Wesson? What's the black version of what's the black version of Glock?
I gotta ask this
I feel
question.
you, champ. Let me rewind a
I gotta
little
ask
bit,
this.
and I'm gonna let people cook. I'm gonna mute up. Let me get like I don't
All
know,
right.
20 seconds, please. Um,
Mhm.
yes, I first entered the space, quote unquote, like back in '07, '08 with SWP, like asking these questions, like why don't we defend what we had? Why don't we manufacture our own weapons? I think that's the core where you're trying to get at. So, absolutely, man, I got
And,
you.
and this is the reason why I say that. Thank you, Mahogany. Thank you very much. And I say
Mhm.
this not being an asshole. Say this as a black American man who served as a police officer, who served as a soldier, as a war vet. The first goddamn thing we did when we founded this country was collect resources and then got the guns together to protect them. Black people get this shit backwards in so many ways. And this is one of the few, I guess I'm one of the few spaces that allow a lot of women to come up, as you can see with Mahogany. I am very open to speak with anybody. I'm very open to challenge anybody, not even challenge, just to hear anybody else's view when it comes to law, when it comes to religion, when it comes to military science, when it comes to politics. Think about this. We're basically going through a second coming of the Monroe Doctrine as a country. If you had the ability to engineer things to keep this country safe and to hold the power that we have, you're going to be a billionaire overnight. Why don't we push our children into STEM? The Gray Faulkner Initiative, for God's sakes, when did it come out, Namer?
Had to be 2014, 2015
Shout out to the
at
Professor
early.
Gray and Sergeant Charles. We,
Shout out to Cerulean.
why the fuck, when we came out with the, why the fuck did we come against such opposition when we made when we made literally an
Mhm.
initiative, black boys, in 10 fucking years? Give 100,000, give me 1,000 young black males in the military each year for 10 years.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That changed, would that change the black community overnight?
That
Okay,
would, but
okay.
here's
You
the thing I
think
would say.
the
DJ, hang on a
discipline
second.
that the military instills would be the difference? You think that? Is that
Say
what you're
that,
pointing to?
say that again.
I'm just trying to get clarity. The discipline that the military would instill to a lot of these wayward young black men would be the
Not,
difference.
not
Is
just
that
the not just the discipline, but the skills.
mhm. Okay?
Think of the skills you come back and teach. What if you become a combat engineer? You got an Army Green Beret who can speak three languages. What if you have a Navy SEAL over here? What if you have a corpsman, a combat medic, a nurse, a doctor?
Hmm.
What
If
happened?
they had the mission to come back and serve the community, I fully agree. Let me say this real quick. You're talking about STEM. I'm from East Oakland, right? A single mother household, unfortunately. Divorce, not out of wedlock, but divorce.
Okay.
And I became an electrical engineer, so I fully push STEM. I'm trying to do even more in my field. So I feel you. Salute.
Congrats. You got to think about it. If you have had, I remember when I first came to this space, what, 11 years ago, 11, 12.
Mhm.
People had an issue with me because of my profession. I said, let me ask you this question. If you have an issue with the police, become the police. Why don't we have 10 years? You got to do policing for 5 years. We put money in the pot. After them 5 years, you could go to school. We'll actually put more of a percentage into that stock. We'll keep putting money in there for you to get your law enforcement to your studies. Okay. Hopefully you come back, Mahogany. Thank you very much. We want you more into your studies. But you gotta see, in the black community, we don't have a service based community. Before you have to give, because we taught you so much, you have to give us so much back, as in your service, military service, paramedic, EMT, firefighter, law enforcement. Give back to your community. Instead, we've made the young men and young women selfish. Your community, which used to raise the kids, because guess what? We used to be that. We used to be that village. Now we became tribal, and not in a good way. Oh, I don't fuck with them. That's not my kid. But guess what? You don't know if that kid has influence over your kid in school. You got to be careful with that thinking. We don't live to ourselves. We don't die to ourselves.
I hear you, champ. And that's kind of a crossroads, right? Because you can't ask like in good faith for a man, not a childless man, I want to say, to mentor. Even though I did it, okay. Let me be clear. I'm from East Oakland, and I know what it's like to grow up without that male influence. So I actually did while I could before my mama got sick. I went back and mentored. So I get that, but it's like there's such a deficit, right? There's like not enough childless men to mentor these young boys. I feel you because it is going to affect the overall community. That's what I'm saying. But it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. I don't know where what we
One,
can do. I'm I'm sorry.
one, like we said in the Gray Falcon Initiative, black men are going to have an initiative that excludes black women. No, you cannot join. Why? Because you're going to fuck up the system. That's why. And until we say this, and until we actually put a stance and say, look, it's nothing against you ladies, but we got to do this for our boys. Because, one, it's honorable for men to go back and teach what they learned. That's why we used to, back in the day, we sent our men off because your 20s, your late teens and your 20s were your adventure years of what you learned. You came back around your late 20s, maybe even 30, to teach and then lead after you went to your teaching. If anybody got to, disagree with me, go look at the chart called The Hero's Journey.
No, I feel that that was kind of my character arc, if you will. But yeah,
And if you go through anime, manga, comic books, all that shit, everybody has the hero's journey. Sometimes you have to go around it again. Matter of fact, you may be in parts of it longer than most of you
you
think.
telling me?
And when you actually do mentor, it gives something back to your soul. Because if you don't mentor and give back, guess what? You have no footing. You lose part of your soul. You very, become very, I won't say just stoic. I would say you become very numb. And when you become numb, when it's ready for you to become a father, you won't have empathy for that child.
Hmm.
Am I making sense, anybody?
No, no, you are.
So,
Let me divulge a little more. I am divorced, right? I'm not trying to get into my personal, but just to put like a lens on what how you said it. Divorced, childless. I had some chances to do that, but I was like, damn, I would rather because I grew up poor, right? East Oakland, like I said, single mother. I'd rather be
Mhm.
established,
mhm.
so my child has that solid foundation before I do it. So in
Mhm.
short, I didn't do it. But then 13 years later, I still didn't do it. So, eh.
Hey, yeah,
But no, I feel
Hey,
you. I would rather not. I would
to
rather be.
CD's point, to his
Go
point,
ahead.
I can actually relate to that because I was involved with someone in my late 20s, and I wanted to become a father, but I didn't want it to do it on her terms because I was
Mm,
not in the right position, especially in my case, because I was in a different country, going through immigration and whatnot, paperwork related. And there was no guarantee that if I did give her a child at the time, things would work out. And it was a good thing I didn't. I don't regret it. Like, I knew if I was going to have a child, I wanted to make sure my child was in the best. It was, I had the best, had everything set up for them. I wanted my child to have the best start in life. So that's what you wanted. If you were gonna, you said you wanted. That's why you didn't have that child because you didn't have a child because you were not where you needed to be. You
exactly.
did not have the proper nest egg and everything. So that kid could have a good start or at least a head start
Hmm.
and be prepared.
And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's
No,
why I said you have to start an organization for men because you could be in your goddamn 40s and still be, as long as you take care of your body and fit enough, you can still raise that child. The opposite is for women usually. So the mentality for women and men are going to come up vastly different. And by the way, thank you, AD, for the $10 PayPal. Whoo! You got to realize is that even though I had my son around 25, if it was whatever ancestors, God's will to have him at 45, I would have him at 45. It's your job to make sure you're healthy enough, focused enough, and established enough to make sure that child comes up properly. And when we look at our journey as because I always say you got to be the hero of your own narrative, which is one of the things we don't do too well in the black community. You have to write your story. Like if your name was Stan Lee, how
Yeah, I
many?
wouldn't have written it like this, but I feel you, champ. I mean, I'm sorry to I'll divulge a little more. It's kind of like therapy for me. Shout out to all the black men on the panel, man, and anyone else,
That's
anyone
that's
else wants to tap in.
that's
But
the base.
peep game.
But
Um,
shout out to
I spent 4 years, just spent 4 years being a full time caretaker for my mother, and sadly she passed just this week.
my con-
So
my
I
condol-
go ahead.
condolences. My condolences.
Oh, I appreciate that, but let me say this. It's kind of a I don't want to say a blessing, obviously, but almost it was because uh, I would have never lived with her again as an adult, right? And gotten that close to her, having to really take care of her like that. I won't go into her condition, but it was like a full 24/7 thing. And but if I had had the family, right? If I had had the kid, then I wouldn't have been able to have been as available for her as I was. So I'm just trying to, I guess, paint a silver lining on it. But shout out to y'all. I'm gonna mute up for a bit, but that's where I'm at right now.
yeah. Sometimes you I've been there. Sometimes I'll say this. Once again, my condolences to you and your fam. Um, there's a Texas preacher, John Hagee, once said, I was one of those weird kids when I was at school and I was off. I would look at evangelist television. Um, he said, and I quote, problem, promise, solution. How you look at your problem determines how long you stay in it and also what happens afterward. Sometimes God gives us moments, right? Not to sound too preachy. God gives us moments. How we look at those moments determines a lot of things. It reminds me of a quote that I wrote for one of my posts. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, it it's one of those posts that gets you a little teary eyed if you really want it to be. Let me see.
Take your
Got
time.
go to my TikTok.
Hmm.
Real strong. Good God. I put up a lot of shit lately.
Hey, CJ, got a question for you.
Step away
Um,
from my phone for a bit. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So, as far as these young men that you mentor and everything, is it through? How do you do so? Is it through school, or do you use like a boxing gym or something like that, or what?
No, it's a private organ. I'm glad you mentioned boxing. Yeah, CJ Rich Boxing. But no, it was a private organization. I can't even recall the name right now because I'm like
Mm-hmm.
cloudy headed. But no, private organization in Oakland. I was in Jack London Square. I don't know if you know familiar with the area, but I was in Jack London Square, so it was within
Okay.
walking distance. Yeah. And I was doing that and Habitat for Humanity, just trying to give back. Like Old Boy said,
Ah.
once you achieve that level, you just got to give back. So that was my
Hmm.
mission, and then I gave back to my mama, and that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, man.
It's
Hey,
one of those
it
things
is
where
what it is.
you know
Right.
every man you did right by your mama because trust me, it's a lot more horrific of her burying you. And
I
I
didn't
can
want to
imagine
have no
that.
regrets, right? I didn't want to have no regrets, so I wrote it out to the end.
yeah, and and when like you said, you grew closer to your mom, which was
Oh yeah, closer than we ever were, and that's I'll hold on to that for sure.
the
Yeah,
greatest you can ever carry with you. And
right.
you always look for something, you can't find it. But if you look for something else, you'll
Take your
find it.
time. Take your time, Charles. Take your time.
It's actually
But
pisses me.
yeah, I know. I remember there was a certain MGTOW, Spetsnaz. He talked about how he mentored a lot of young men through boxing because like he was involved in a boxing gym, and he realized like some of these guys were like really talented, had great footwork and everything, but their self esteem was in the gutter, and he had to know how to get them, in that right mindset. He also understood the importance of what the role of a mentor is for certain people, and in certain institutions, like those who are incarcerated,
Right.
you'd be surprised how many people, those who are like senior status, love to be in the role of a mentor if you're in the right environment for that. Otherwise, it's just dog eat dog, and everybody's gonna hurt each other. Um, you have people who are doing the same thing in martial arts schools, martial arts academies. The teachers have become pretty much like second fathers to certain players.
Hmm.
It kind of
Oh,
sucks.
I got a black belt in Taekwondo early, not to make it about myself, but yeah, I feel you. Yeah, definitely. That definitely benefited me
Yeah.
to control that
Hey,
aggression, right? So every young man
yeah,
has
yep.
aggression. You got to control it.
Hmm. Hey, Hapkido is also just as good when you think about it, because you get both striking and grappling with Hapkido, and that's a complement with
Okay,
your Taekwondo. You know,
that's what's up. Yeah,
yeah. So
absolutely.
because like what's his name? The comedian Brad Williams. The dwarf, the little white guy. He's got a Eurasian
Yeah, yeah.
wife. Her back, and she's from Wisconsin. So this little Chinese woman's got a Wisconsin. He's got a Chinese girlfriend. He's got a Chinese wife who has a Wisconsin accent because her family is from Milwaukee. But he said like this. He said her background is she's got a black belt in Taekwondo and what you call Hapkido, and just for shits and giggles, she got herself a BJJ black belt.
Busy woman.
That's what's up.
Here's the
Yeah,
here,
she's average. She's like 5'2" and something like that. Go ahead.
here's the quote because it's actually very fitting because it's a picture of Superman Crypto looking at the grave of Jonathan Kent, his father. Bad things do happen. How I respond to them defines my character and quality of life. I can choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of my loss, or I can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift I have, life itself. Ah,
Uh, I'm gonna mute up, but who quoted who said that?
I forgot who said that. Sometimes I'll be writing shit. Just sometimes I've written shit that I've realized, damn, I did write that. This is funny.
Right.
That was what I need to hear right now because I
Mhm.
do need to respond the right way, and I'm on the right track, champ. Don't get it wrong, but
Yeah.
That's why. That's
I
why.
got to see it through.
That's why I may not get the numbers I used to if I get shadow banned. But I always tell people I'm here because I'm needed, not because I'm wanted.
Hmm.
I've helped people. Like I told a friend of mine yesterday morning. People don't realize how many people we talked off the cliff.
Indeed.
And it doesn't mean you're taking your own life or anything like that. Sometimes people are in deep, dark places.
Self-destructive.
And when you're in a dark place dealing with clinical depression,
Tell me
deal,
about it.
dealing with other stuff like that, you can become
Hmm.
immobilized in the gravity of the moment. And there's such power just rising. Sometimes, hell, you can tell when I get my little fits. Room's not clean. I don't feel motivated. But sometimes we got to take from looking for motivation and we got to go back into the realm of discipline. And what's discipline? Shorthand defined as doing what's needed when nobody's watching, doing what needs to be done, even if you regret it, even if you hate it. Why do I got to take this nasty ass medication? Because you need it. Why do I have to take out this trash? Because it has to be done. Why? 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 And at some point, you're gonna say to yourself, "Nigga, why not?"
Hmm.
Or that's where I was. That's where I'm trying to get back to. Trust me, I got kind of arrogant. You feel me? Like coming from East Oakland, going back to downtown Oakland, electrical engineer. I was like, I got humbled in one second, one phone call. So no, I feel you. I got to get back there. I understand. I understand the process. I just got to get back to it.
Slowly but surely, my dude. Don't rush. Slowly but surely, we all get there.
Or
Yeah, I mean, just staying positive and trying to make it happen. Just, I mean, we have to make it happen because we all we got. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to, like I say, just be positive and just keep on one step at a time.
I
speaking of
remember.
one step, right now I'm at the point where it's just what's the most important thing I got to get done today? Do that one thing. And
Mhm.
sometimes, most times I put more extra on it, but just make sure I do that, and that'll be the catalyst to get me moving again, given my situation.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Hey, um, I don't know if you were listening to my conversation. I was mentioning my background earlier. Um,
No, I don't think I saw. I don't think I heard.
I'm from originally from East Africa. You ever heard of Eritrea or Eritrea? Some people say.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you know we got plenty. Yeah, we got Ethiopians, Eritreans in and around the Bay Area. Um,
or
okay. There was a good homie of mine I lost a long time ago. Found out he died and he got caught up with the insurgencies. And he was Sudanese. He got caught up in the insurgency and whatnot. But I remember this is my dude. He talked to me and told me there was an old saying in Sudan where they say things happen for a good reason.
okay.
That left me pondering, and that let me know that, oh no, no matter what happens, there's always a good ending, one way or another. No matter how bad it is, there's always going to be there's going to be, no matter how long the tunnel is, you're going to always come to the end of it. You're going to see the light on the other side. So keep the faith that, just like when I go through my bad days and everything, sometimes I have to remind myself, this soon shall pass. So you got to just ride it out. Just like you got to ride out a low, just like you ride the highs. And soon enough, once you come, soon enough things will work out. Everything works out in due time. You just don't need to force it. In the meantime, just keep yourself occupied with things that'll keep you on the right track.
No,
You know
I
what
feel
I'm
you,
saying?
champ. I appreciate those words. Mama wouldn't want me to give up, and That's not even a
Mm.
possibility. I've been through too much already. So
Things happen for a good reason. I mean, I lost my father a couple years ago, and I couldn't be there for the burial and everything. I couldn't go home. Only thing I could do was just like,
sorry to hear
just
that.
pray. I had to pray. I don't appreciate it. The only thing I could do was pray and call my siblings, because as much as I was mourning, I had to be in big brother mode and make sure they
Yeah.
were okay. I had to call relatives because I had to make sure they were okay. I said, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "Because this is the only thing I can do. I can't mourn. I'm used to death myself for reasons I don't want to talk about right now." And I realized, hey, this needs to be done. I'm doing what needs to be done, and I had to wait about a week or so in order to call home in accordance with our traditions. I couldn't call home immediately. I had to wait a week. And when I got a chance to talk to my mother, she was just relieved to hear from me.
Mm.
And okay, she was all right. I was just worried if she was going to be okay. She said, "No, I'm okay. How are you doing?" I said, "I'm all right." And in my case, my father, everybody was okay. We understood, we accept that. It's not easy to accept death, but when someone goes, but we learn to accept it, especially when it's their time to go. So as far as I'm
I feel
concerned,
you,
my
champ.
father lived 70 years. He had a good run. It was his time to go. He's with the ancestors, and I just got to do right by him. Well, do right by myself, for myself first and foremost, which in turn will do right by him.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
told
do
my
what's
mom like
right by
this,
you.
man. This
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe 10 days ago, I told her, I'm gonna become the man I was meant to be. I'm gonna reach my full potential as a tribute to you.
Mm,
That's
bro,
that's the promise I gave her.
bro, I will tell you this. I once said this to my own father. I'll always be your son, but I have to become my own man. He looked
Mm.
at me and said, "That's right. You have to be a man first and foremost for yourself. I mean, you have a duty to your community,
Absolutely.
but you got to be a man for yourself first and foremost. You can't be just a doormat for other people. Unfortunately, some people are doormats that way."
Never that. Oh,
Hmm.
like I say, my phrase is get sturdy. And right now, I got to get sturdy. Just put the.
Hey, mine is sometimes you can't you can't wash your hands clean unless they're dirty first.
Word.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true. I done a lot
just
of
like I know that.
great things in
Hey,
life, a lot of
hmm
questionable things, but yeah.
Everybody has
hey,
some. That's part of life. It's that
that's what about.
it's funny.
Mm,
Some people complain about, hey, you got your space heater on. Cat says it sits right in front of
hmm
it. It's the heat. It's the it's the difference in perspective.
hmm
Hmm.
I think Tunnel would be back anyway, but I will say this: um, if you're having a shitty day, just remember John Witherspoon in every Friday movie.
You
You know where I'm
live,
going with this?
you live to fight another day. Yeah.
No, no, no,
Win
not
some, you
that
lose
one.
some.
No, not that
Oh,
one. Not just that. Not just that.
that was the best
There
one to
was the,
me. Go ahead, go
yeah, but the running gag was he always had to use the bathroom, no
ahead.
matter how she. Because remember,
I needed
hey,
to inject that
'cause
bit of humor in it. That was good. That was good, champ.
let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. It was a running gag in every movie. You can't have a
That's
Friday
true.
movie without John Witherspoon need to use the bathroom. So I realized
Oh man,
from
I've
that
seen
I
him
learned.
live. I've seen him do stand-up comedy here up in Sacramento where I'm at now. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. But the thing is like this: no matter how shitty of a day you had, and things look a whole lot better after you take a good long shit. So I always tell people, look, you just had a shitty day. You just had a shitty day. Only thing you can do right now is go home, take a good long shit, regroup for the next day.
I'm glad you lifted the temperature, champ. I appreciate the energy.
Mm,
That's cool. That's
mm,
funny, man.
I'm
it is the truth. Hey,
just
we all
glad
learn humor one way or another.
everybody's feeling a little bit better. May not be complete, but you're a lot better than before you came. And
Hmm.
Word, word.
even for
He's
my
on the
hug,
right path.
kind
Things
of fun.
happen for a good reason, like I said earlier.
It's funny because even Mahogany's going through something, and our dude here is going through something, and it's like a lot of people, and I get that a lot. A lot of people will view my content for a whole year, and
Hmm.
even when lost, like he was like, "I viewed you for a whole year before I even said something to the chat." But I appreciate it. At least you know
Mhm.
I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm up, and
Hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm tapped in, and I'm not self-promoting at all, but just to like, it's kind of therapeutic for me to have started my own thing. Obviously, I'm talking boxing. It's a totally different lane, but yeah. So I get it, man. It's good for
well,
me
yeah,
to come out and hear my voice heard on these panels. Only been in the game like 3 months, but it's
yeah,
okay. That's
it's
cool.
very therapeutic. You know, my son boxes. I boxed back in the day, mostly wrestled, but I
Okay.
boxed well. I did MMA, so it runs in the family. So in my
Gotcha. No, I actually boxed. I mean, I had the black belt in Taekwondo for, but I not boxed, but wrestled for damn near 10 years. I started that early.
oh
Um,
yeah,
What weight
yeah,
class? I'm sure that's y'all
uh,
can you guys can talk about wrestling a lot. You know.
that was the fun stuff.
8 to 18, right? So I think I ended up at 154, somewhere around in the 150s, 156. I think it was in wrestling, somewhere
Oh,
around there
Okay.
when I was 18. Yeah.
You went to college? Did you attend? Did you wrestle in college as well, or not?
No, man. See what happened to me is I lost the discipline again. The single. I don't want to
Hmm.
blame it. Shout out to my mama. I love her more than anything, but not having
Hmm.
that like fatherly role in there. I lost my discipline.
Hmm.
I started chasing after the girls, so I lost
Oh
it. I could
yeah.
have possibly because I was good. I was winning
Get your
tournaments left
mind
and
off
right,
them
and I had.
gals and in them books.
I know
Get your mind off them
exactly.
gals and in them books, as Robin Harris
I
once
was
said.
getting all the ribbons, all the fucking trophies. I was good, but I just didn't
Mhm.
have the discipline to follow through, unfortunately. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, I didn't go to college
that's
with that.
true.
I ended up
Okay,
going to
okay.
Sac State, Sacramento State University, but
All
not no
right.
scholarship. Yeah.
Mm. Hey, ain't no shame in being an electrician. I'll tell you that much.
No,
Do
no, no.
electrical work,
Electrical
man.
engineer. Electrical
Electrical
engineer.
engineer.
I stepped it up, man.
Oh, okay. You're an electrical engineer. Okay, cool. I got an uncle who's an
Yeah,
electrical engineer.
I design what they lay out. But no, I've done all type of things. I've done HVAC. And I'm not trying to put my nose in the air. I had 40 jobs, literally 40 jobs before the engineering. So I've been a janitor in a
Mm.
strip club. I done HVAC. I did all type of shit, champ. So yeah. Retail management. So it's not hobnob, but
Wait,
yeah, I mean,
you
about
were a
10 years
janitor
ago,
at a strip club. You were a
for
janitor
two
at a strip
weeks,
club.
as I finished up my degree to be an engineer. Yes, that's a fact. Centerfold,
That's a lot of yo.
Rancho Cordova,
Yeah,
California.
man, that's a lot of ass you had to deal with. I'm sure you had to deal with a
Oh
lot of
shit.
ass, in one shape or form, in some shape or form.
Oh man, it was
Mhm.
crazy. I got exactly one lap dance in my life. Exactly one. Because that wasn't
Man,
my thing, but I
I,
was like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm here,
You know
so
mhm.
what?
let's see
So
what
many
this.
jokes.
Speaking of strippers, and you can blame the Magic Mike thing. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, female friend. She's white. No, she's white, but um, she was talking about like how she had got out of a long term relationship and then she was like dating a guy for a short stint and like she was complaining about how things weren't working right. And she was like, and I looked at her and I was conversing on the phone. I said, "So you think guys suck in relationships?" I was like, "You guys can't be trusted." I said, "Yeah." So I just looked at her and I said, and she worked as a nurse. She works as a nurse and social worker. So I said, "Have you ever dated a stripper?" And she's like, "I never had that budget." Okay, all right, all right. let me ask you this. Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. You're dating a male stripper. Let's say it's laundry day, right? You're doing laundry, and you find a G string in there that's not yours. What are you thinking? And she's like, he's a cheating bastard. Then I'm like, of course you would think that. Until you look at the front of the G string and realize, oh wait, that's his.
You tripping? You
Yeah.
wow. That's funny. I didn't
I
see
have
that
a couple.
punchline
I've
coming.
got.
Well played.
I have a bunch. I've got a couple of those where and
There's
if I
about
make money, I know I'm gonna have to put her kid. I'm not gonna have to put her kid through college just to get her and her husband off my back for those jokes.
well, I
If
know
I
one.
make it big in comedy,
I know one thing. I would start a whole company off of being a janitor in a strip club. That would just uh,
I got so many more stories than that, champ. I done
right.
it all. I wanted to live life. I really wanted to get out there and do everything. So I would just
yeah.
switch up jobs, like because I knew I was adaptable and I could do whatever pretty much I wanted. So
Right
I
there,
switched it up.
right there.
Charles, this motherfucker is multifaceted than a motherfucker.
That's why the channel was called the Multifaceted Channel. I mean, if I tell,
Salute.
if I tell people that I've been a janitor to a strip club, people would just ask how many times. Wow, like it's I would just even if I would just make up stuff. Yes, yes, it's true what they say about the polls. No, 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 no. You got
That's funny. Hey, y'all dudes know anything about these like little scam companies? These I don't know what they call MMOs or whatever. Cutco, Kirby. I sold it all. I done it all, man. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
because once you live a life, you got the best stories.
Oh yeah. I'm 41 now. I'm 41. I done quite a bit.
Yeah, that's why I tell a lot of these guys.
Well, you're 84. Were you born in 84?
41. Yeah, I lived two lifetimes
Yeah,
No. What year were you
already.
born? What year were you born? 84.
84. Oh, 84. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My fault.
it's
Okay. Both he and I are both 80. Are both 82. So yeah, you in the
Okay,
right
that's
place
what's
there,
up.
fam.
yeah, it's funny because
Okay.
like it's like when people ask me certain shit, and they'll be like, "What's the most interesting call you had?" Well, many. The lesbians, fighting over moving out, and the parents were there. And they were like, you know, what do you do? What do you? The parents were like, tell them what you do for a living. Yeah, tell the next man what you do for a living. I'm a stripper. And I was like,
Yeah.
prove. And I was like, prove it. So she showed me a video right in front of her parents.
Oh shit.
And
Wow.
it's
That's
like,
so
How tall was she?
disrespectful. It's like
well,
how
not,
tall is what the
not
fuck?
because they were moving furniture because she was moving out of her ex girlfriend's house. Um,
Ooh.
funny because I'm the man who walked through more. I walked through more threesomes by accident with two women than most people do on purpose. So
Wow.
Code name Eric Hornmonger.
All right,
that's
champ. Statistically, given your profession, I'm curious about this. No, not statistically, but anecdotally. I know statistically, lesbians have the most domestic violence, but anecdotally, from
Oh
your,
yeah.
I'm getting there. They have the most
um, they're the most violent. They have a lot. They don't women naturally
because it's no one there to calm it down. No one's being level-headed. You got it.
don't like each other. If you had think about it, a mom and a daughter will get in fights more than a son and father will. Two sisters will get in
Oh
fights
yeah.
before brothers because they don't have a borderline. Let's say the brothers get in a fight. They're probably only getting one or two real fights in their life because they're like, okay, that's not my little brother ain't so little anymore. They're like, okay, that's the reason why he's a big brother. That what keep going back. They're catty. They're naturally catty, and it's nice because women make the most interesting drunks and everything because they'll say a lot of shit to me,
Bet.
and I like they'll literally be like, well, we had this one, me and my boy Sean, we had this one call. The lady looked all right. She wasn't that bad. She just had a drinking problem. She was a mathematician. She was a math teacher, and
Oh wow.
she was going through some issues. Pretty little daughter who was like 22 at the time, and
Oh.
she, she was upstairs carrying on the floor. Thank God she didn't piss her pants. And she just looked at us and said, "Oh my God, y'all two are so handsome and so." And because I'm dark skinned, she called me Ebony, and he's light skinned. He called her Ivory. He called him Ivory. So, oh my Ebony and I, oh y'all look like y'all two.
Stevie and Paul, huh? Y'all was Stevie and Paul that night.
She said, and I quote in front of her mother and in front of her daughter, "Y'all two look like y'all got some big old dicks." And remind you, we got to stay
She
professional,
you gotta
and we're
stay professional. She's well inebriated. She's unfiltered.
also everything she's thinking in her mind. And I tell people, a lot of fellas in this space are really afraid of how women really think when they really when women think like un 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 uncensored
Uninhibited.
un,
Uninhibited or
There you
unfiltered.
go. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. Right.
uninhibited, uncensored, raw. A lot of men can't take
Mhm.
that because they see women in a certain light. I don't. I enjoy it. I try to bring it out. As a matter of fact, fuck, I'm a self-proclaimed hedonist. So,
No, if you've seen it before, it's kind of addictive. You want to bring that out of her. But you
oh yeah,
got it.
it's addictive. I'm sorry, it's almost a drug addiction.
Oh
If
man.
I could make you do shit that your own husband for almost 20 years couldn't do, grrr, I love it.
You nasty. You
Yeah,
nasty, Charles.
yeah, but you
How
like
dare you?
it. Tell her. That's why you keep coming
Uh,
back. Block me. That's why she. But that call was so fucking fun that he literally groped us both and said, "Oh, y'all got some big old dicks." Removed her from
damn.
crotches. We're trying. We're keeping straight faces. Your nose. Mm. And this is in front of her and her daughter, her adult daughter. And they're like, "Oh my God, we are so apologetic."
Don't worry.
Even though y'all nice looking guys, by the mother and daughter, y'all nice looking guys, but we're sorry for her bluntness. We get it, we get it. And then we had to help her downstairs because she was too inebriated. We thought she was gonna fall and break something, and we had to get her. And so I get her by her shoulders and arms, and Shawnee boy got her by the legs.
You had to carry her out like that, huh? It
And
couldn't
this
be a
is,
one man job. Wait a minute, wait. How tall was she? How much she weigh?
I don't
Hog
know.
tighter.
It was funny because it gets even funnier.
Mm.
She's like, she's like, damn, y'all both gotta tick me up at the same time. Ooh, I knew this was gonna be good.
She was
I'm
looking
trying,
to give. She was looking to be a rotisserie, huh?
and we're looking at each other coming out of steps, trying not to laugh and fall and drop this bitch. And we're breathing through our nose really hard, and we're trying not to. And she's like, and she's out of my arm, so I had to grab her underneath her shoulders. So she
Mhm.
just squeezed them real quick, even though she did have some nice ass titties. I ain't gonna lie. Them
Oh my goodness.
motherfuckers, the motherfuckers, them motherfuckers were like freshly ripe fucking oranges, and ooh, it was like her cup almost ran over, and it was so
Ugh.
funny. I said, "Oh my god, oh my god." And she keeps talking shit to us the whole time. She's like, "Oh, baby, you are strong. I love me a strong dark man." Oh, and then she actually, because he had to pick her up by her legs, so he had to actually get between her legs. So it was funny.
Oh
She
no.
wrapped her legs around. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Mhm.
You'll see. We're gonna have an internal affairs complaint so quick.
Internal affairs. Okay.
Oh,
Yo, I'm kind of uncensored. I'm trying to be respectful, but I gotta ask you this honestly, and please be for real.
mm-hmm.
Um, if you didn't have the partner there, what would you have done?
Ah, I would have carried it up. I would have carried it out. You don't take advantage
Okay,
of
okay.
because that's
See,
just
that's why I couldn't be. That's why I couldn't be an officer. I knew it wasn't for me because I
now
don't have that level of
now
discipline.
Hey,
This is too much.
now she was by herself, and totally sober and willing.
Hey, yo.
There there
shit.
there have been times I met women
Oh
during my
man.
during my duties, and I met them, and they told me, "Hey, you hungry?" I said, "Sure, come over. I made some lunch." And they have a plate of food,
Oh,
nothing in a bath, but nothing wearing nothing but a bath towel.
uh-oh. Wait a minute, Charles,
Okay.
Charles, Charles. Charles, hold a second. Charles, I remember back when BGS had the hangouts and everybody was just roasting your ass as a cop. And one of them said to you, come on, Charles, you know the reason why the women love you is because of the handcuffs.
Oh, there are some.
Hell no.
Well, there are some
I
women.
remember they were like, "Come on, man! This is because you got that nightstick. It's because you got them handcuffs. Because you look that good and you look all that good in that goddamn uniform, man.
Oh,
Even without the vest."
oh, gotta realize. I'll tell you this one. Yeah,
Hmm.
he walks off and carry a big ass stick. I guess. Shouldn't
He had a couple of big ass sticks,
Word.
folks. He
I?
wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
picking. He wasn't
Theodore
talking about
Roosevelt
Tiffany
said
either.
it. Yosemite Sam said it as well. But let me say this. Yeah, man, another one of my gigs when I worked for ADT, the housewives used to show up at the door in just a robe, and I didn't go, but goddamn, it's tempting.
I guess that Desperate Housewives thing was for real, huh?
Yeah.
Word. Yeah, that was around that time too.
Oh yeah, I remember it was so funny. This one chick, and I remember I was like 30 something, like my early 30s, and it was just she turned 21. Worked at Pop for a time
Uh huh.
in Jersey, and she was built like a shit brick house. I mean, ass like a air conditioner sticking out the window, legs like Tina Turner, and C cups that just could stay on there, stay like they defy gravity.
Let me guess. Her number. How
Floating.
could she lose with what she used? 36, 24, 36. Oh, what a winning hand.
Yes,
No
Just
way,
like in the
sir.
song, just like in the Commodore song, remember?
no
Right,
fucking
right. Oh hell yeah.
36, 24, 36. Oh, what a winning hand. Now she's a brick
about as much as
house.
House.
had about as
She's
much as
mighty, mighty. Just letting it all
Just
hang
letting it
out.
all hang out.
just had
It's
about
too thick.
as much
Just too
ass.
thick in the 70s.
She had as much ass you could put on a female. That was five
Hmm.
six 40.
How tall?
5'6", 140.
Why are you
Five,
asking
six.
for height?
Ooh,
That's must be a thing for you, homie. How tall was she? I
Five
don't give a
six,
fuck.
5'6",
140.
five,
That
six,
Oh,
one
oh.
forty. Okay, all right, all right, all right.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
good
that's good. That's
proportions.
good. That's good
I,
proportions with C cut titties. Cause damn,
yeah. And she lived like 2 blocks away from where she worked. And she says, "When you come off of work, just come over here. I'm living with my sister. We're from Jersey. We just moved up here. Blah 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 blah." And if you think the Baltimore two dudes are bad, listen to somebody from Atlantic City. And oh my goodness, she took advantage of me after I was drinking, and we were in her basement.
That's
It was a beautiful basement. And she was like, "Come here, I want you to look in the mirror with me in the thing." Next thing you know, I don't know how talented this bitch is better than Houdini. How do you unbuckle and take off somebody's pants from behind? From
she had too much practice. That's too much practice, homie. Yeah, you had a 304 for sure.
I mean, god damn. Like we should have came at same time like that. It was too powerful. It was like the it was. This is how powerful it felt coming from her, man. It was just devastating. Like, that all I felt was this coming down from me.
By the power of Grayskull.
My God, that shit was powerful.
Yo, I will say this. No, I feel you, champ. I've been there, and when she takes her time down there and does everything else you like, yeah, man, it's I told a bitch she took my soul. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Hey, a lot of guys have lost their minds after a good blowjob.
she took.
You get that
Word.
one good one, and you are fucked for
She
life,
was.
as
She,
Joe Rogan say.
she was bent over the fucking the fucking sink. I was like, oh my God, it was one of them nuts that like you never thought would end. Like, oh shit, somebody give me a towel. Oh fuck that, mom.
Word.
Shit. No, I
I
was that.
feel you.
Oh, trust me, there's
Hopefully you weren't. Hopefully you weren't screaming like Lexington Steel. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
more like Patty and Stella, my nigga. Shit,
Hit the high note.
good all over
Hit the
me.
high note for your best results. No, I didn't. I didn't hit the high note, but it was legendary. I'll never forget that.
I mean, shit, that shit was powerful. Like, what was another chick, man?
Word.
There was a lot of chicks. Oh, it's sad. I think I'm gonna have one day. I think
I think we all had a legendary one that stands above all the others. And we had a lot, but come on. There's one that was just like that experience, that next level.
I'm still trying to find my fatal five. I might have a four. Definitely Galaxy Trio. Oh my God, the one from North Carolina that came up this year. This something.
You had
I,
one come up
I,
from North Carolina, huh?
trust me. Trust me. One day I'll tell you, motherfuckers. But I'll tell
Where
you.
you at, Charles?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Go read.
Okay, all right, then.
Funny because I've never liked women riding because most women can't ride. It's sad.
Oh, it
No, they
hurts.
really
It
can't.
hurts. They get no.
And it's just not as good. When I'm doing the motion in the ocean, it's way better.
Yeah,
And they
but
can't do it. They can't do it right. Some, it's rare though. I feel you, champ.
the reason why, but even when me and her argued, there's certain characteristics that's hard to let her go. We had a great conversation today. I need to go down to North Carolina and see her. When she when she came to,
North Carolina, go on and raise up.
she's actually from Miami too. So shit. So and it's funny because she was like so hot and bothered when she saw me in person because this is the first time we saw in person. We met off of Facebook dating,
He
and
was flexing.
Ow.
she was like, she looked at me like, "Your pictures do you know justice." I was like, "Those some damn
Wait,
good
how
pictures."
tall was she? How tall is she, first of all?
Oh, five,
Every time.
five, five.
Height and weight, please.
Her weight,
Every time.
uh,
How tall was she? It's the
one,
Kevin Samuels. Okay.
No,
160.
no, it's a height and weight because I got to know what we're talking about. What he was
No, I
dealing with
get
here.
it. I get it. This is funny to me.
Bedroom eyes, them eight wide
Hmm.
in eyes, and she was so
Hmm.
hot and bothered. Like no matter what she said, when she saw me, you could see her biting her bottom lip. She was like looking at the pictures in my living room. And I was like, I got my other parts of my collection upstairs in my room. You want to go see? She's like, hell yeah. She's dragging me upstairs. Like, bitch, you just got. I don't know where my room is. And she was like, oh, I like this bed. It's so comfortable. And she rode me. She was grinding
I
on me.
love when it's too easy. I actually love when it's too easy. I don't care what nobody say.
And
Maybe
I'm like,
that's why I love hoes. I guess. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would never. Hoes are part of the ecosystem. Okay.
They are.
They are much needed because you
Always
can't.
have, always will.
And it's funny because when she rode me, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel bad. Okay, keep going. Oh, it's getting
She's
better.
had experience. She's had
Oh,
experience and took the time to master it.
okay, okay, keep going, keep going. It was so good. I had to call my homeboys and say I have a new number one.
Damn.
Oh,
And he was like, "You never like a bitch, right?" And I know. He says, "That's how I know you telling the absolute truth because we just spoke about it. Is she better than Sandra? Yes, she's better than her. Yeah, and she is."
That's
oh,
legendary.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness, there's." I know. I'm sure. I'm like. It's funny. The more I talk about my whoreness, my hoe life, the more my viewership goes up. This is Sunday. You motherfuckers need church more than I do. I'm like, shit.
That's funny.
I'll tell you the one. Oh my god. Every time I'm on duty or I'm off duty, I get caught with some really weird times. It's like imagine an older lady who's 50 in the face but 25 in the body.
I've
damn.
been there. Oh,
I,
I've been there.
and the sad part is, these bitches know when you ain't had none in a short minute. I mean, dick was harder than a Rubik's Cube. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, it was looking like quantum physics in that motherfucker. I,
Oh, cool.
I mean, the
It was
motherfucker.
staying at attention like a cadet at West Point.
I mean, that motherfucker was calculus inside of a jail cell. That's how hard. Man,
Hey, at least it didn't look like. Hey, at least it didn't look like a disabled veteran sitting on two duffel bags.
no, those are the
Yo,
balls.
I want to pose a quick question to both of y'all. Hey, we've been having fun. I'm not trying to bring it back down. It's not going to be too serious. But um, ex-wife, uh, what now? 2 weeks ago, yeah, exactly 2 weeks ago, tried to reach back. Yeah, right. The same
hmm
woman I did not have kids with. She coming back
hmm
with two kids by a dude with face tattoos. If you want to know how I know that, I'll get into that. But I wasn't even looking into her. But yeah, how you feel about that reach back?
And wait a minute, how long ago were y'all divorced?
13 years.
13 years. Did she ever marry?
Disrespectful.
Did she ever marry this guy?
That I don't know. Now let me tell you what I do know. Um, what's it, 2025. So 6 years ago, I was up here in the same neighborhood in Sacramento. I was living in Oakland, but
hmm
up here in Sacramento, visiting my mama for Thanksgiving, right? And I had my dog, and I had a girl up here. So me and my girl on a run with the dog, and we happened to stop by the dog park near my mama's house. Happened to run into her and her, I don't know, baby daddy, husband. I doubt it because the nigga had tats on his face. That's not the Marion type. But that's what I seen. And I seen one kid. At that point, I seen one kid. We just exchanged awkward looks. Didn't say a word. I told my current girl, like, I think that's my fucking ex-wife. The shit was crazy. I wasn't quite sure. But yeah, we confirmed it later on because she had messaged me on Facebook. Yeah, right. And yeah,
hmm
she said, oh, she has two kids. This was like a year ago, maybe.
Okay,
She
how
said she
long?
has two kids now,
So you and your
and
ex-wife,
that's all I know. I don't know if she's been married. I know she has two kids. I know
you
that
said
shit is disrespectful. I
you
want y'all to speak on.
you said y'all been married for 13 years, right?
Divorced for 13 years. We was married for 2 years.
Wow, sound like my boy Mel.
Yeah.
Shit, with his first marriage, he got
So
married to
And she
another.
has two kids by this guy. Okay.
at
Um,
least that's the best case scenario. You feel me?
that's
It could be two baby daddies. That's the
that.
best case scenario.
Oh, trust me. Oh no, 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 no,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
man.
no, no,
Disrespect, right? Come
no.
on, champ.
Yeah, disrespect.
I'm,
And she been
It's
I'm,
like
disrespectful.
I'll
let
give.
me put a bow on it with this. She'll like friend request me on different platforms and block me when I don't give her the message she expects at that stage. Like every, I don't know, 5 years, I guess. She'll tap
hmm
in. Oh, he's an engineer now. Okay, let me fuck with him. Oh, now I got two kids. Let me fuck
You
with
know,
him.
that
So
was
it's
funny.
like that, and I'm like,
You know,
I ain't fucking with the champ.
it's funny. Maybe because it's the Aries in me, but I would actually accept
Oh,
what.
same sign.
You know where I'm going from. April 1st, buddy. I tell people all the time, maybe it's the Aries in me. I just got to fuck with you a little bit. I might even let you see
Uh,
my
Yo,
and just be like smiling, working out. I actually, let me tell you how. When me and Shorty weren't speaking to each other for a little bit, me and this Shorty this year, I put on
huh.
this smooth ass hat, the fedora, the wide brim, had the guns gunning, had the beard all
that was
majestically.
my same era. I call it my fedora phase. Yeah, I was flexing. I was in shape. I was rocking my
And,
shit.
and I put the picture on there. And I didn't say her name. I didn't refer to anybody specifically. She told me verbatim, "Oh my God, you had that nice picture up there, and people were looking at me, telling me, and I know you were telling me about getting my mentals right, and I felt so bad, my business out there. Oh, bitch, you been watching, huh? Gotcha, bitch.
Hmm?
I'm like,
See, and people been telling me I didn't want to believe it. They was like, "Hey, you started your channel again 3 months ago. Like, you think she been seeing it?" And probably because she does have my YouTube account, my Google account. But
right.
I didn't want to believe it. But maybe that's why she just pulled up a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. But if you
But
Here's
watching
what
this,
I'm gonna say.
Stephanie, if you watching this, fuck
No naming
it.
names.
I'm
No
gonna just,
naming names. But here's what I'm gonna
I'm,
say. Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead, name it. I'll go after you.
First of all, I'm grateful that I used to watch Oprah because I do remember when Dave Chappelle was on it. And Oprah did mock him. This is when he left the Chappelle show. This is his first interview since leaving Chappelle show in '06. And she mocked him for being paranoid and whatnot. And he said, "Well, first of all, what's a black man without his paranoia intact?" That
Word.
that question has stuck with me since I first came to Norway. And when things got left, I understood the importance of one, blocking. And if I end a relationship with someone, if I end communications with you, I have a point to block you, as well as make sure you can't find me anywhere, whether it's on social media or anything. In fact, I showed some people to check out the settings on their social media accounts where they can make sure that they can ask that platform to remove their names from being searched
That one
online or
specifically.
whatnot.
Damn, but you going that hard? I didn't go that hard, but go ahead.
No, I had to go that hard for my own peace of mind. First of all, there are people I do
I
not
ain't mad
want
at you.
following me or finding me for various reasons. And and to a couple of ex girlfriends, there's no point of having interactions with them. So I know
No,
nobody's giving me the
I
big, and
understand. I
I'm
just
glad. So I'm just saying, as far as she goes, don't do it. But the choice is yours. I mean,
oh,
you don't want to. I mean, you ever heard the song? You ever heard the song "The Stepdaddy" by the Hitman Sammy Sam?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
Yeah, that song when he had John
And,
Witherspoon as the stepdaddy in the music video. You don't want that
and
situation, now, do you?
and Too Short had a song by the same name back in like 92, 93. No, but I understand. I heard both songs. But I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
this that no, it ain't no. I heard y'all heard off top what I led with, right? What I'm really going through.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't if I ain't reaching out to her at this time, there's zero chance
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break down and be weak later. So no, negative. That's
Yeah.
out.
And you said she's very disrespectful. You've been away for 13 years, but she's been checking on you every once in a while. Disrespectful as hell, right?
Right, just tapping in, checking the temperature, trying to bullshit. Yep, exactly. Very
You gotta
disrespectful.
make yourself
Like I
you gotta
almost
make
want to.
yourself inaccessible, man. You gotta make yourself inaccessible. Say,
When
hey,
you say troll her, I almost do want to
mm-hmm.
troll her. Like put the bait
Uh
out
huh.
there. But no, I'm not. I can't be that petty. That's something
Some,
she would do. That's something not.
sometimes you
I'm
It's
a
just
not
need,
in you.
41 year old
If it's
man. I
not in you,
can't
it's
just
not in
like
you.
say. And I'm not even gonna smash, obviously, but even just trolling her
Mm-hmm.
like online, like, oh yeah, how's it going? Da, 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 this is going on with me. I'm vulnerable. Nah, fuck that shit. She don't
uh,
deserve that.
sometimes you just need to see a picture of me living like, well, hey, God bless you. I
But
hope,
that's what she's seen. That's what she's
you
been
know,
seeing for 13 years.
God
Yeah.
bless. I hope there's, I hope there no harm comes to you. Have a good one.
And I hate to be like that. It seems cutthroat, but that's the most I could do. That's the kindest I could be to her because she bounced, right? As most women do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the one that followed the papers, but yeah,
Hey,
because she was too fucking lazy. Let me calm down. Let me
How
calm
much did
down.
you lose in the divorce? Is my question.
Not shit. Not a damn thing, but the divorce fees. Like, I don't know, a couple,
Oh, the legal fees.
1,500?
Oh,
Yeah.
for the lawyers and such. Okay, all right, fair enough. You know what? Wait, do you remember Black Phillip? Remember the show Black Phillip with Patrice O'Neill?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you remember like in that there was like at one point Dante's co-host Dante Nero had finalized his
Yeah, yeah.
divorce, and when
Oh,
Patrice
yeah.
said to him about him, and Patrice said to him about his divorce, it's like, man, the good thing about that thing is like she didn't take shit from you because you didn't have shit to begin with. I
Yo,
mean,
exactly. And I feel so dumb about it now, but literally, this is one of the last conversations I had with her. I was like, I'm
mhm.
in school for engineering. I'm like a year away from graduating. If you had any fucking sparks in your head, you would wait for me to get up and then leave. What the fuck are you doing? And she was just so stubborn that she just bounced. A blessing in
Uh,
disguise, right? But yeah, I literally
hey,
told her that shit, my dumbass.
things happen for a good reason, as they say in Sudan.
Right.
Things happen for a good reason.
And mama told me not
So,
to. Mama told me she was bullshit, and she was right. I told my mama that. I told her while she
mhm.
was still here. I told her.
Yeah, your mama was right about that. But at the end of the
Mhm.
day, count your blessings. She's not in your. She's out of your life. Hey, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. You basically went from Michael Jackson's "She's out of my life" to Method Man's "From makeups to breakups." Because if you remember, if
Right.
you ever listened to that song, the Method Man featuring D'Angelo, God rest his soul. You know how he talks about like he ain't messing with that chick no more, ex girlfriend who has got 3 baby daddies and everything. On some bullshit. You need to get like I ain't trying to have that bullshit. Get the hell out. Get away from me. You go live your life. I'm living my life. I'm living comfortably. I don't need you fucking shit up.
Exactly. Especially right now. That's the
Mm-hmm.
last thing I would do. It would
that,
be
Yeah,
actually
you
it'd
got
be
too much to
disrespect to
lose
my
right
mama,
now.
I would
Yes, it
say.
is.
It
Uh
you
would
huh.
got
be
Uh huh. Right
disrespectful to
there.
my mama.
you got to think about it. That first of all, if we didn't have kids and we were married, legally married,
Mhm.
God loves you.
Mm.
God
Why
loves
you say that?
because if a woman's that disrespectful and that trying to pick through, think about it. If she would have been married for you for all those years, married for two, that means probably I would have been married for 15 years roughly, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. If she was unhappy with you, the same thing she doing with you, she would have done to you.
Just bounce.
Look up.
Yeah, let me say this. I did get her pregnant before we was married, so my son would be hypothetically 17 years old, but no, I fully feel where you're coming from. She would have done the
Wait a
same
minute. She
thing. That's
turned.
just in
Oh,
her
you got her
nature.
pregnant.
She was never
Wait. You
down.
got her. Hold a second. You had gotten her pregnant, but she terminated the pregnancy. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
not
She did.
it wasn't on her. It wasn't on her. Again, that was me saying, let's do this when we're more stable after I graduate, after I can provide. Again, I come at poor, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I would do the same thing right now, like
Mm-hmm.
morally, but coming up poor at my time, and I was more liberal at that, at that point, I was like in my early 20s. I was like, okay, let's do this when we got more resources. So I thought I would have that second chance, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She must
But
have. No,
hey,
okay,
game
right
is a game,
there.
champ.
That's. No, hey. Obviously, if I'm reading this right, it seems like she might have had harbored some resentment towards you or whatnot.
For not
But
going through with it. Yeah, she really wanted that.
she wanted to have that. Hey, I'll tell you. I mean, I was involved with somebody. and she wanted to have a kid, but the way she asked that question, we had talked about having kids, but I remember the whole time we were, getting involved, she wanted to, as I was wrapping it up, all right.
Hmm.
But I remember she once came up to me and said, "How would you feel if I got on the pill so you don't have to use a condom?" I looked at her and I said, "First of all, if you want to use the pill, I will
Cool.
happily support you, encourage you. However, I'm not gonna go wrong because I have a responsibility first and foremost to myself, which in turn means a responsibility to you. The truth is, I did not want to have a kid under those circumstances. In my gut, it was not going to work out if it was going to be something like that. And given the circumstances, I was like, and then, hey, I'm glad you asked me this question and everything. Didn't think much about it. And I was adamant I would like to keep everything wrapped up. Needless to say, it didn't work out.
Or
And I'm glad it didn't work out. Hell, I could have had a kid with that woman. I'm like, if the circumstances were right, but I realized I'm like, nah. And when I learned up,
now something.
I later find out that, she's still single and childless. So that's her loss.
How old is she?
She will be 43 later this year, next
God
year.
damn. See, I hate
We're
to
like,
hear that.
because
I don't want.
oh no, because we
I
were
know.
both
I
of
know
us, both
she
of
might
us.
have been
I
a
was
easier, not the right one for you. But I hate for a woman to go childless because now it's over.
well at the time she and I were together. Like I had turned 20, I was turning 28, and she was like, and because I'm September, she's late January. I'm a Virgo, she's Aquarius, so that has to be factored in. It was just like the circumstances was, and not to mention this is a switch hitter, and I had met her
Oh
ex
no.
girlfriend. So
Oh, you can't
so
do
it
that,
was
champ.
it. Yeah, yeah, it was a rebound. I was basically the rebound guy in a sense. Even though she initiated, I
Right now,
guys
now
know
I'm gonna
her
switch it
friends,
up.
and everybody. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Hey, hey, from what I understood, hey, she
I
opened
put my
up to
shit
me
on the
about a
table.
lot of things. No, no, no.
No,
Hey, I will
absolutely,
admit.
they will when they want to lock it down, but doesn't mean they're
Mhm.
going to stay down, right? I should have told my ex-wife. I haven't got a chance. Maybe if I want to troll her, I said, if you want to come up, you got to stay down. Like, cause I did, I told you, I did what I said I was going to do, right? I finished the goal. Just couldn't stay
Mhm.
down long enough for you to come up. So that's where I'm at with it.
Your game. You just have to look at it for what it is. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. You gotta, but she cannot think she can just go back to you, man. Just because she's like taking, keeping tabs on you does
That's
not
what
mean
I'm
she
mad
can be
about.
back.
As she even has the audacity. But I'm gonna mute up for a second. I'll be right. I'll be back if you don't close up.
All right, take your time. Take your time. I'll be right back. Um, Charles, if you're still there,
I'm
um,
I'm about to shut
man,
it. Come up here tonight. But we
yeah,
do
hold
the
on a second. He said he'd be right back. He said he'd be right back.
all right. Oh, 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 oh. I like these. You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of this shit from Critical? What's this shit from Critical? Uh, oh shit, what is this called? From Critical. Um, it's from Critical. You know the shows from Critical Role like the Legend of Vox Machina, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They
Okay.
came out with another show called The Mighty Nine.
All right.
Anybody like the stuff? Critical Role. I'm sorry, Amazon. Amazon and Critical Role are like tag team champions right now because they coming out with some good shit. The Mighty Nine is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. The Legend of
Mm-hmm.
Vox. that
Mm-hmm.
that's. I mean, oh boy.
Wow. I gotta check out some anime. I haven't checked out in a while. You know, like there's this series I had gotten a chance to check out. It's called Son of Zeus.
Oh yeah,
No,
it's
Blood
pretty
of
good.
Zeus. Blood of
Yep.
Zeus. I completed it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. You'll like it.
I
Check
loved
out.
it, and I loved the story and everything behind it. I'd
Check.
seen like the Tekken an anime movie. That was no anime series. That was pretty interesting.
That was pretty interesting. The what is it? The Ragnarok one. I forget what it's called. Oh, that's pretty good. Yep.
I've
All
heard
right,
that.
all
I'm gonna
right. I
check
can
that out.
tell Charles is getting tired. I appreciate y'all having me up. My first time on the panel. Salute to y'all. It was a good, great
It's
conversation.
cool.
Yeah,
Just
highly
come
therapeutic.
just come up
I'm gonna say
tonight.
this. Yeah, yeah. Likewise.
All right.
Lost my train of thought for a second. One, two, testing. Oh yeah, anime. Uh,
Mhm.
my little boxing icon is based on Hajime no Ippo. I had my graphic designer do that for me. So trying to look like
Oh,
that, but
sweet.
for black version. Yeah.
Nice.
So
All right. Nice.
but all right,
MC
cool
Roll.
man.
Yeah.
I'll be tapping in more often.
All right, we'll be up here later tonight. Gonna talk
All
some
right.
grand shit. All right, folks.
For sure.
Charles, before you leave, I'm gonna need you to leave me your like if you're on WhatsApp, I'm gonna need you to leave me your number in the back chat if possible.
I don't even have my website number. I might have to fix one up. Well, definitely. I'll probably have one by tonight.
All right, cool. Because I got everybody on WhatsApp. You know, I keep Sandog and everybody else on WhatsApp. You know.
All right, cool.
All right.
All
Catch you
right.
later. My best to Peanut.
Ooh, of course. Be safe out there.